The planets are stacked in Aries, and we have the Aries new moon this week.
We're tapping into the pioneering energy of Aries tonight on Leading Out Loud.
I don't just talk stuff and repeat stuff. I'm living this stuff.
And you can thank me for covering your astro.
Leading out loud. Leading out loud. Leading out loud.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to Leading Out Loud, the spiritual shift show that's pioneering and playful. I'm Step Astrologer and Channel Sensei Chris Wotecki.
And I'm David Palmer, the Leo King.
And I'm Scott Cruz, psychic medium and mentor at scottcruzpm.com. How's y'all week been, guys? How's it been?
It's been a week. There's a lot of energy going on. You can feel it everywhere.
Yeah.
Slow the body. Christopher?
We're starting to see things fall, actually. I'm seeing relationships fall, businesses fall, namely mine. Stock market, maybe. But things are starting to come apart. The old world is starting to pull apart. Yeah. And I felt at least 2 days. I felt one day, I think it was 2 days ago, that just I didn't feel like I was in the old world. The world felt unfamiliar. I mean, felt strange. Yep. You had that too? Yeah. So
yeah, I've also been like feeling this like need to like speak up, and so I've been kind of feeling a lot of that passion. I don't want to say rage, but just kind of like speak up, say something. And so I've been kind of like doing that a lot in my mind, actually. And then when I find out I'm finding my voice, then I'm like, I don't have to say anything to that person. So I've been kind of resolving a lot my inner voice.
I would say I didn't fail, but I definitely had a lot of things that I finally like came to terms with of like, that wasn't the way I like to be treated. And then, so I made my voice be heard, and then a lot of people understand it, but I think there's a lot of voices out there that are really just want to annoy people or pick at people. And I think everybody's done with that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
I spoke up too, and no one likes that. But I had to. I was at this point where I knew the era was ending, and I wanted to end on a note with myself where I kind of showed the universe that I got it, or at least I thought I did. And strangely enough, usually the person who heard it also need to speak up. So I've been attracting other people who didn't speak up. So there's a lot of speaking up going on. And I think there was no winner per se, but I think there's a satisfaction and an end. A lot of endings for me this week. A lot of endings.
Yeah, and I've also recognized too that I want to speak up to people who embrace it, because so many people you get the energy to, you speak up, but then just like it's like talking to a wall, right? Mm-hmm. It's kind of you can't fix. What they say, you can't fix stupid. And I don't mean to sound so crass that way, but I started to notice that too. I was emphasizing intellect to people that didn't really have the capacity to embrace it, and that was a lot of my realization I had to make for myself, is that sometimes you have high hopes for people to understand things and they just don't. Right. And so that was kind of my inner voice saying to myself, I'm kind of proving it to myself and like making the point to myself. And that's kind of the benefit, because I've always been the one that speaks up, like you guys are saying, and people getting annoyed by being blunt. And so I've been finding my balance with a lot of that too. So I think that's part of the Aries energy, right? That passion.
Yeah. I mean, in this week, there's so much in Aries. There's going to be 7 energies in Aries, the most we've ever seen in our lives. It's also interesting because we've had Mars with Neptune. Now it's going to be Mars and Saturn, a new moon in Aries with Chiron, and then, of course, Mercury conjuncting Neptune and with Saturn. So it's like overwhelming for this, what we've been talking about for all these weeks and this last month about really the identification of self being the highest version of ourself we've ever been. There is no more excuses. And so this is the week where that tension that's building up, you have to fully exert that trueness of who you are. You cannot. This is what we actually warned about. If you play on your crutches, they ain't going to work out too good by this moment.
Yeah,
it's true.
And there's a moment on Sunday before the 0 degree Taurus where there's like 5 planets at step 7 at the same time, including the moon. And so you have this like harmonic, almost a chorus of spirit. So there's a strong 7 or spiritual energy coming in, like harmonized. And there's a strong 9 energy coming in saying, basically be strong with your spiritual message, or take on the Spirit's new calling, I think. There's a couple times where I knew people, I wouldn't see people again. So if I had a stranger that came into my life or something and did something wrong, oh, they heard from me. I was like, this is probably the only time the universe is going to teach you a lesson. It's going to be me. I just felt like I had to speak up for myself, but I also felt like for the first time, I was like, I can't let that person go on doing that to other people. I've got to say something.
Yeah.
Because I don't want someone else to have to deal with that crap, So it's kind of clean up the litter, or the litter behavior, we'll say that way, of the world.
But that's the past energy we're talking about, right? Because I've been saying for a long time, when people don't say anything, it's like that person's like, oh, I get away with it. I can keep doing it. And then people, and that was like the kind of the emphasis in the spiritual community is like, take the high road. Oh, don't pay attention to it. And it's like, no, we got to pay attention to that. We have to call out. That brings change. And, and perhaps that shows somebody else who wants to speak up too, that they have the ability to speak up and make change too. So I think we need to lead in that way of speaking up and standing up. But also there's going to be a lot of endings, like you guys said before too. There's a lot of endings with relationships, a lot of endings with careers or certain places that you're living. And I always say, a lot of times when people end something, they feel like they have to hate it, that they can't still love it as they move on. And I'm saying, even though you're ending that chapter, you can still, I loved it for what it was. It brought me so much great opportunities and great experiences, but it's just a new chapter. So many people have to try to hate it in order to move on. It's like, no, the more you embrace it, the more you can move on.
That's so true. I mean, the disappointing part of this has been that a lot of people had to like burn it down. It's like, damn, I had to just make the biggest error in front of you or do the biggest thing. Or it's like, wow, we wouldn't have to. I mean, I had to fill out another police report. Seriously, it's like, I cannot fucking believe it. And the police are like, what is up with you? I'm a suspect in this town at this point. I'm going to have to spring. But it's just because I was drawing in the lesson, I guess, where I had to speak up and didn't speak up. No, seriously. And I also realized too, a little lesson is like, I realized that my timing sucks. Like I should, I realized the time to do something was way, 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 way back here. And I made choices way so far back that by the time it came to the point of realization, it was too late, or at least too late to really have the full potential of it, what it could have turned into. So late timing, definitely.
I can definitely concur with you on your late timing. Yes.
Yeah, totally.
I think as we close doors in our life, I mean, they're not all going to be perfect. I think that idea of perfection, we have the South Node in Virgo. Yeah. That's where the illusion is. It's a North Node in Pisces still. No matter how much Pisces is finally gone, the universe is asking for us to have a sense of surrender in order to step into who we really are. And that surrender is going to be sloppy. I think you have to have compassion for yourself about how you handle things, but then you don't be compassionate if you really are super sloppy, like if you're not moral or something like that. Although I don't think anybody watching this is that way, but I think it's important for people to remember that you're not alone. Everybody's going through a massive change in their life where a lot of major doors are closing. Yeah. And you're left with just this really kind of main one door with a lot of unknown on the other side. But it's not unknown if you just know who you are. It's the journey. It's the great adventure that we've all waited for. So.
Well, and I agree. The knowing who you are is understanding those chapters or pieces of you, really. The bad relationship is a piece of you, right? The failure of a job or failure of a business is a piece of you. The success of is a piece of you too. And I think that people tend to forget the bigger picture of our story. And I think the more we come in tune to that, knowing the self, like you said before, like we've been saying, gives you understanding, wisdom, and insight into the future and where it's going, right? And the trajectory. Okay, so this storyline evolves from this into that and becomes more rational to us and more discerning. I think that was a time more that people don't judge it, try to, condemn it and stick a fork in it, in a way that's going to be detrimental to their growth or realization or appreciation.
At the end of the day, I found, being a guy of nines, I had a lot of Aries in my chart. The lesson really didn't require much. I had added so much to it. You know what I mean? Like I expected much more, fanfare or much more of a dramatic ending or something were found. And really Spirit's like, does he get it? Okay, go on. And so things are dismissed, in a way that was unsatisfying, for me. And I realized, I guess it's a spiritual lesson. It doesn't matter. And then in other cases too, I was really amazed that things that would normally make me melt down, I have been so calm. I mean, I've been such a calm, really amazed at it. It's like, wow, amazed that I've, been beaten up enough times that I'm not really, flinching anymore, which is also, observance of growth. A lot of observance and growth too.
Yeah, and I said that a couple of weeks ago, Chris. I was like, I was presented with shit that I thought that I knew I resolved, but it kept coming at me, and I'm like, And I started to, it was like almost like the test of saying, like, I'm not responding the same way I used to these situations. Like, I'm responding differently, or I'm not as affected by it. I feel more objective and unaffected by it, right? And I just think that's what mastery is. Whenever you're evolving from something, that's a clear mastery and the resolution of karma. And when you're in that position of objective and unaffected. And yeah, there's been a lot of those tests for me as of late. I'm like, holy crap! Like the old me would be like, oh, shut the fuck up, fuck off. And now I'm just kind of like keeping the peace, just keeping the chill on my vibe, and So yeah, it's definitely been a confirmation of growth this time.
I find at these intersections we draw in our old self. So I've seen at least 2 or 3. I've lectured, helped out really. Like, hey, buddy, I see what you're going through. I've had a couple of old me's come in, and it was like, wow, you see the distance, how far you've come, and it's like you come to that mirror of yourself in a different. And so even new people I'm mentoring now, people I mentored moving on. It's just this kind of a crossroads, really. It's interesting.
I just want to lastly add that I think people can beat you up. That's not the test. The test is if you let them beat you up to where you beat yourself up.
Right.
And I think that this is the test, is to stop beating yourself back up. It's resilience really is not allowing, what is not true to become true, not allowing yourself to fail when it's yourself that's the one that will choose to fail. We're going to have some slip ups here, but that's the big thing. And I just want to make that point.
Well said. I mean, it's how we treat ourselves on the inside, I believe, that draws everything in to begin with. And that was a hyper awareness I had, where I was letting myself off the hook, not punishing myself and feeling, weird about it. It's awkward, in that sense, that because you're used to that sort of afterplay and trying to come up with new afterplay inside yourself, that's complementary. In that regard, it's been more alone than ever before. Other crossroads have just felt with a lot of people and stories, and they're there this time, but I'm just not there with them. I'm fine to move on. I'm fine. See you in heaven. We'll talk about that.
I think people need to like redefine failure. To me, it's just like, you're going to have your dynamic. That's actually growth. Failure is just giving up, not doing anything.
Yeah.
Right. Or giving in, non-progression is what failure is to me. I think when you attempt and try and you evolve and you climb, you crawl, like that's success. And just, using the baby analogy, it's like you're going to crawl, then you learn how to walk, then you learn how to run. And so I think we need to use those simple analogies with our soul evolution.
Yeah.
And when we do, then we understand, oh my God, I needed that fucking piece. That's a notch on my belt. That abuse is a notch on my belt. I needed that because with my traumas, I wouldn't be able to do what I've been doing today without that experiences that I've had. I'd be a stupid mofo. It's like, I feel like I can see more. And also I love that I feel so smart, but so stupid at the same time. There's so much more to learn, so much more to master, which makes life fun for me. I'm seeking that evolution of self, not so much getting things. I think that's been a lot of the spiritual communities about manifesting things. I'm obtaining that wisdom, which makes me feel like I'm always in that stage of aha moment, right? And expansion. And that to me is what's exciting for me at this point. I realize that now at this point.
Well, I texted you guys. I said I felt a disturbance in the force, which is my little Yoda way of saying.
You did.
I don't say that often. I mean, it's the only way to describe it. It's just something's not right. And I'm not worried because I felt this many times. I felt it before 9/11. I felt it, and so something feels not right. I don't think it's gloom. I feel very okay and not worried, but I predict something is going to happen probably in the next 10 days. So it feels like just my own spidey sense that will just leave us jaw open. It's like one of those moments. I feel like we have that coming. And it's a sense. It's not even astrology. There's 1,000 things going on in astrology, as David can tell you, that could be possibly the trigger of that. This moon this week is going to be intense.
Yeah, I think when you had texted me that, I actually thought maybe we make the show about this, that I think everybody that's intuitive around the world feels that something's about to finally drop the big thing we've waited our whole lives for. That's what's really wild about it. It's not like, over the last month or the last 6 years or the last 10, it's like our whole lives and all of human history. That's what's about to really be the shock that's coming that we could feel. I said weeks ago, or I said at the beginning of the year, but I reposted it recently. I said, the last 6 years didn't blow my mind yet. Nothing's blown my mind yet.
Yeah.
Something's showing up that's going to actually blow my mind. And that's when we know we've reached it. And we're at that where these last little clicks on the gear are so tense and ready to go. And that's what Terence McKenna said too. He always said, right before he passed away, he said that this is the evolution of humanity moving into the stars, literally, is this chaotic moment that we've all been going through. That's
Mhm.
what he channeled through the mushrooms in the jungle and so forth.
I think it's true. I mean, if anything is true that we know of the conspiracies, then it's a hell of a different world than what we talk about. I mean, for alien intervention and everything, and what we actually know and what we've been practicing. It's just such a far cry. We've been so much in the dark. We've been so much in a lie, really. We talk about it tonight, it's just history and everything. It's like, you just realize, holy crap, we were just had our thumbs up our ass. Like we really did not we're just walking around the planet not knowing anything. I think we're going to realize that we knew nothing almost. We almost knew nothing.
Well, I just think, and no one's surprised by anything anymore. I think people
Right.
like you're saying, we've seen it all. We hear all the bad stuff. It's almost like the pedo name has been such embedded in our consciousness. Like we're not surprised to even hear about that anymore. We've become numb to that, to the density. So for me, it says if we become so numb to the density, it's only it stands to reason why we're evolving our consciousness to be more, more 5D. I hate to sound so cliche this way, but I think 5D perspective is really understanding more about intuition, more about how things really are connected, tapping into higher dimensional beings and higher dimensional information. So to me, it's like I've been seeing that mapped out for such a long time and seeing people exhausting superficiality, exhausting density, exhausting all these, fixations on things to where I feel like the human species crying for more. Crying for like more answers. Like, why is this really occurring? And so this is the year, like I've said in 2025, of revelation and innovation and finding one's place. And that means those who have been, hogging the places of others get to collapse. It's a time of the breakthrough cliche, but like it's so obvious right now. I feel like Spirit's like just throwing it plaster in our faces. Like, you get it now, and I agree with you, Christopher. The next, about 10 days or so, there's that aha moment. But I think we've been built up for so long to the aha moment, for the past 6 years. But the fact that no one's really surprised by anything anymore is kind of key. It's calling for an evolution.
The surprise is on the inside. The surprise is on the inside. That's what I realized. I think I went through the frequency wars. I think I had everything, just the whole orchestra just played every bad note it's ever played at the same time. And I was calm and I was just like, kind of that. But what I realized was, this is all me. And my biggest realization, I'd say this week was, just that I'm going to be who I am, that I really could finally see how I had been conditioned as a child to keep my family calm. And then therefore, step away from what I'm comfortable with and what I want to make everything else happy. I really saw that and saw how I found the honesty of who I am. Just like what I really want to say is this. And so I just started doing it, and it's amazing how we subconsciously cloak ourselves. We subconsciously play these roles because we start as children that just want to be happy. So we start very innocent. These mind washes on yourself happen really young. And it's so normal. You don't even catch it till you're 50, 60, 70 sometimes, So I think what people are going to realize is who they are.
And that's a shift that we got to get the headlines now. Yeah. But I agree with you, Christopher, because we all got to be aware and more conscious about what's going on within ourselves. And a lot of times we're numb to things. We got to be conscious. And so, too, being conscious, we got to understand what's going on in our world, too. And I think now is an important time to know what's going on in our world. So, first headline is Finland is set to launch the world's first permanent deep underground respiratory for spent nuclear fuel. Repository, for spent nuclear fuel. Engineered in stable bedrock, it is designed to safely contain radiation for at least 100,000 years. Bedrock's no joke. I lived in Beechwood Canyon in Los Angeles, and we had earthquakes. That bedrock, prevented us from feeling any type of earthquakes up there. So that bedrock is pretty stable, pretty strong.
I feel like we're leaving. It's kind of like leaving Easter eggs for kids. For future generations to come, just somebody's going to dig 100,000 years from now and be like, I guess it's only 100,000 years that it was safe down there. And what's a little scary about that is who's going to really maintain that energy and stay maintaining it, or are they just going to get lazy and just like landfill, like we've done everything, right? And just like kind of close the lid and be like, well, let's see what happens. Because but it is a little bit safer, because the problem right now at nuclear power plants is if the power goes out, the generators only run for 3 days to keep all that expelled nuclear waste cool. And then what happens at that point? They have no contingency plans to keep having a guy with a truck go get diesel and replace. They don't have any of that after 3 days. And then that's when the actual kind of worse than Chernobyl situation happens around the world, is if we actually lose the power or if there's a huge sun flare. So underground would be safer, but it also could become like a volcano of one.
Yeah, I've always had the intuition. First, my dad was in nuclear power growing up. So if it's in a reactor, the United States reactors are designed to self-destruct. and so they would never have a nuclear meltdown in the U.S. Reactor. People don't know that, but it's got chemicals at the top that will basically flood the reactor and destroy the $1 billion investment. Now, the other countries have not wanted to do that, willing to destroy the investment, but the Nuclear Regulatory Commission demanded it. But you're talking about nuclear facilities that was spent fuel, and you're right. That has no. That's why it's usually put in cold places and whatnot. But I've always intuitively thought, and I talked about this with my dad, that there'll be the technology to reverse it. We'll have the technology to reverse it. We'll be able to clean it up at some point. I feel.
This might be a stupid thought too, but I'm thinking like, how much as things evolve, are we going to be more living in the skies, kind of like the Jetsons? You know what I'm saying? Aircrafts as our transportation, like will we be less grounded? I always kind of think about that idea that we'll be more in the skies and more evolved this way and more spacecrafts. So I wonder if that would even mean anything about what's going on underground or within the ground. You know, so
well, and every time I think about nuclear power plants, I think of Homer Simpson. And he's going to be dealing with it all. And then I think of Mr. Burns and Smithers running the plant.
Mm-hmm.
So, I think for me, when I think of like, oh, well, it's Finland and they're doing that underground, I just feel like, is that another excuse to build something bigger underground? Because that's even what we came out with the White House, right? It's not about a ballroom. It's about the underground bunker that they're doing underneath there.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So why is everybody building underground? Right.
It's true. There's a lot of underground building.
The Kardashians, the list of Jeff Bezos. That's what they've spent the last 5-6 years all doing.
Yeah. My guess is that because they know we're going to turn on them.
And but that's what I was going to say. That's going to say that those who are evolving our species, they probably understand they have to go underground, right? Because as things progress, they won't be in control anymore or charge anymore, right? They won't have the amount of power and influence they have, and so when they get exposed, they have to have somewhere to crawl under. That's what I kind of believe. I
actually like that viewpoint, Scott, because the other one, of course, is the pole shift, and it's all going to go to hell in a handbasket.
Exactly,
but that could be also the narrative for them to try and stay in power and control.
Right. Yeah.
I like yours a lot better because I think nobody's saying that out loud right now. That's actually a better description of like, oh, I mean, look at Mark Zuckerberg, right? Like, ooh, like you're now being held liable for kids and teenagers getting all these horrible mental health illnesses and everything. And people are going to start to come after you. Or Kim Kardashian right now is in court with Ray J, and it's exposing that her mom and her pimped her out for the porn video.
Wow. That's crazy.
Right. And they've been doing everything to try and keep it under wraps, but the judge is like, no. So like, that's going to ruin the Kardashian world. Right. So it's like, I'm waiting for Jeff Bezos already with all of his weird kind of fetish like lifestyle that he lives, weird life.
Dr. Evil.
I mean, and we saw that I don't remember where, but I've never seen videos. There's like an actual underground city with like malls and stores and like they already have this established all that. And so a lot of people think, oh, they might be preparing for some sort of major meteor or something like that. I said, no, they're going to hiding when they get revealed, when they have to hide for themselves of humanity in a sense. They might Bill Hyde. What's that, Chris?
I was going to say it's the advice of their Anunnaki bosses. You know, that's what they did. They went underground and they lived on there. Like this was
you said that,
yeah. I really feel that's the case. And South Pole has something to do with it. Antarctica has something to do with it. There's something in Antarctica. There's something in Antarctica that we should address at some point.
Beyond the
There's something going on. We don't know. Yeah.
I feel that.
Okay, next
we have Eric Swalwell announced his resignation from Congress after multiple women accused him of sexual misconduct. And the separate case, Texas Republican Tony Gonzalez also steps down, facing similar allegations. I mean, are you surprised? I mean, I think to me this is a bipartisan issue. You know, it should be. I don't care if you're Democrat or Republican. I think everyone should be held accountable, and I think that's what's going to break the lines of governmental power. We start recognizing it's saturated all over the fucking place, not just hovering on one side or the other side. I think that's going to truly bring restructuring to, to the whole political sphere. And it's funny because Marjorie Taylor Greene is like telling people now to not pay your taxes because what's going on with the war. And so I've been saying for a long time the income tax is going to crumble, and so I feel like this is another stirring up, and she's bringing light to a man who used to work for the IRS too, about how he says he doesn't pay income tax in 30 years, and because it's not really a legal thing. So I feel like that influence has been creeping in, as I've been predicted 10 years ago. That's going to crumble the income tax, or at least be exposed. So, but this is to me another
No, I agree. I was going to agree. I would say I'm hoping. People talk about Trump being an asshole. I do hope he would default on our loans to the World Bank. I really hope he does. He's the only president that has enough the gonads to go.
Right.
We're not paying it. We're not paying it. I'm the king of bankruptcy. We're not doing it. And just
Right.
file bankruptcy. Like we need the World Bank's credit really to do anything? Why do
Right.
we borrow money from rich families? Why do we do that?
Mhm.
So, anyways, it's a big question mark, and I agree.
Well, and
It's gonna-
especially I think with the Swalwell situation, it's taxpayer money paying for this dude to get escorts to himself, right?
no
and then
kidding.
maybe you would be smart enough to actually not have somebody recording you with an escort.
Right.
Two,
Right.
he already got in trouble for being with Fang Fang, the Chinese spy, years ago, and
That's
never got in
right.
trouble about that, right?
Honeypot,
A
huh?
little slap on the wrist, which is probably the worst of it all. But, I understand the Me Too movement because this actually hits that more. And it's on video of him just grabbing her and trying to make out with this chick. And the worst was then he doubled down and said, like, I'm going to fight this stuff. But everybody in the Democrat Party knew for the last couple of months it was about to come out, but they still were supporting him. There was a billionaire in LA who just came out and gave him $1 million for his campaign and was like, I will never talk to him again. Like, went off the chain on the news. Like, I was like, holy cow. Like, people are really pissed. But on the other side, what's happening with the Republicans, that other guy from Congress, Tony Gonzalez, had one of his aides that he had an affair with, and then she killed herself.
Other stuff, right?
Mhm.
So Swalwell resigned the gubernatorial race here in California and his seat, and then Rodriguez just said he's retiring.
Mm.
But the problem is in Congress, they have their own body that looks into this stuff, and they voted just a month ago to maintain that.
That's right.
Right? To where it's all secret. We don't know all the payoffs and all the weird stuff, and it's with everybody that's been through Congress and existing Congresses as well that have all been doing this kind of stuff, and they just get, go in the back room and do the right thing, and then you don't get in trouble. It's like, that's what needs to change.
I love that you said that too, because what's so surprising to me is how these people think how invincible they are, which means to me that they're all protecting each other too, because they know they're not going to get in trouble, so to speak. Because if they were, feeling like a little bit, I'm going to get caught, they wouldn't be so carefree, like you said, being videotaped by what they're doing. So I think that the charade is falling in that sense. But I also feel like, dude, to me, the even Trump said this, resigning is like an admission of guilt. And so
that's true.
To me, it's all about the realization, revelation, and speaking up too, in correlation to that, Pam Bondi also skips her House oversight deposition on the Epstein files as well, and Democrats are now moving her to hold her in contempt of Congress for denying the subpoena. Why?
And Republicans need to join with that, because they did the same to Bill and Hillary Clinton. The Democrats joined the Republicans to hold them in contempt, and then they made them go.
1 + 1. I mean, come on.
You know what got me was during the COVID thing, Nancy Pelosi's husband in that video of him being attacked. That was so fake to me. It was so incredibly fake. Him being attacked. I couldn't even believe it. It was bad even for cops. Like, it didn't even look like a cops episode, which was bad. And no one said anything. Like, the news we all were just told to buy it. And sometimes I'm just insulted by how obvious it is that we're being duped. And no one says anything, or we're being snuffed by, but no one says anything. So
why was the intruder in his underwear with a hammer?
And her husband is a bad actor, guys. Bad actor. It's like
you go try to break into his place with your underwear on and with a hammer, and then when the door opens, there's somebody behind the door to open the door for the cops.
Right.
Yeah.
It was like so like out there. And honestly, with Nancy Pelosi, that is a weird household. And honestly, he got the DUI too during COVID. Remember out there in the Napa, he was just drinking in his Porsche, and he was drinking wine, and he got the DUI. And then that happened like right after it. It's like, okay, that's where these people are at. People might think, oh, money makes people happy or all this power. No, that's a great example that you just brought up, Chris. Like, no. And then they try to cover it up by saying, oh, he's an intruder. Like, and then they throw the person that dude was probably an escort for him.
That's what I had read, that he had done a regular. They look like they're role playing. It looked like they caught him in a sex role play game, actually. And was he really hurt? Was he really have a bludgeoned head? I think the hospital lied about his emergency surgery, and Nancy does like a speech about she hopes he comes through. It's like, give me a break. give me a break. It was just so insulting to us. I mean, I think at some point, American people are going to be where we were in the beginning of the show, where we're just going to be like, no, shut the fuck up. We're just the people when unanimously start speaking like it's not going to happen anymore. We're just going to grow back.
He needs an AA bed bad.
Badly.
Yeah.
Because I don't think he would have felt the blow, right?
Right.
If he's so drunk all the time on wine
that's true. Yeah, and they're
Speaking
huge
of power-ups, and then Melania Trump making her, announcement too, right?
Oh, yeah.
It's almost like a warning. By the way, it's like what you're going to see is not really true. Stop talking about it now. But yeah, First Lady Melania Trump steps into the microphone to blast disgraceful lies connecting her to Jeffrey Epstein. She denies any meaningful relationship and urges Congress to hear from Epstein's victims. I mean, obviously, she wants to go to the victims because she knows she was not a perpetrator, but she did know him. So let's focus on the victims now. But I also feel like that's a way to escape her relationship.
I think she's been a victim. Hello. I think she's been a victim. She comes from.
I'm sure.
I think she's a girl has been trafficked. Like, I mean, I'm not trying to speak poorly of the Mrs. President, but I do feel like I look in her eyes, and that's compassion. I think she's been there as a girl in these different countries, and she somehow made it to America as a beautiful woman. Somehow became the first lady as a beautiful woman. Her beauty got her there, but I think it was a hell ride. I think, and she sees it. And I think she reaches out to these people.
But it's funny because Trump didn't even know that she made that speech.
I believe that too.
It's kind of right. And that's the contradiction, though, right? Because Trump's saying it's all a Democrat hoax now, the Epstein files, even though for the last 4+ years he said it was the thing he was going to expose and how bad it was, and then flips. So then she goes out and does it, but then the bigger story is it's because just days prior, her best friend of 20 years just got deported because her husband is best friends with Trump, and it was Melania's best friend. And then she started tweeting out pictures and exposing more about this Epstein stuff and other situations going on. And that's what I think. So I think, Chris, you're right. I think she's part of being a victim. But like, if you look at pictures, she is all buddy with Jeffrey Epstein, and she's trying to say that she wasn't close with them, and there's pictures of them. And then it just doesn't look good. And her main point was that I didn't meet Donald through Epstein. But that night, the Epstein associates and everybody that is in the files that we know of at the moment, right? So I think there's a big riff happening in the White House right now.
Of course.
And especially, she said this year, or this term of Trump, that she wasn't going to live at the White House. So they don't even sleep in the same bed. They don't even, right? Like you could tell. Do you see Donald getting on top of her and making love? No.
Of course not.
Like most Americans are not sleeping together. Although I actually have to say, guys, if I knew someone was doing shit like that, like Epstein, I would go talk to him, because I got an ego that wants to go find out what this fucker's doing. I will be around those people. I've always wanted to see those people. I'm not because I'm joining them, because I'm actually looking to find a hole, see what's going on. Like I'm like a citizen investigator. So y'all don't always assume that someone's around a bad guy that they're bad. Sometimes people are vigilantes. Sometimes people have a good intention. They want to find out. They want to get the garbage out of the house. It's not always what we think.
It's massively layered, but I think this guy had so much control with Joel Ranch and all his other strings he can pull. People who are in positions of power pretty much know, what the blueprint of Epstein really is. Epstein. I was going to say Jizzy Maxwell.
That's probably his nickname, Jepstein.
Jepstein and Jizzy Maxwell.
Well, you don't ignore the guy if it's like his party or whatever. I was like the same thing. If you know, guys, look, if a guy's an asshole, I'm going to go behind. I'm on the good side.
This next story, I think, might play into why Melania is doing this.
Right, because Trump posted an AI-generated image of himself in white robes healing a patient, then quickly deletes it after backlash. She later claims it was not meant to. It's meant to depict a doctor, basically. And
he said the Red Cross.
The Red Cross, yeah.
Which is legit.
It's a Jesus depiction with angels of military men that are all with wings at the top of the image. Like,
wow,
it's a religious depiction. So
I think,
and then he's putting himself as that, and he's the only one who posted it. It wasn't a retweet. He actually put up the picture on his own True Social.
Yeah. I definitely think that it's him's cryptic way of saying that he actually knows he's the Antichrist, so to speak. So I think that was really his message. Not saying I am Christ. He's basically saying I'm the Antichrist. That's what I think that his message really was by posting that.
I think he's desperate for headlines. I think he sometimes will pull any prank just to get on the air.
To gaslight, sure, but I think
Just-
he knows he's causing shit, though. I think he
He
knows
does.
he's
Deliberately,
It's-
he's deliberately. He's it's like that kid in the back of the class. It's like after he's doing spit wads, he's doing that some fucking paper airplanes. It's like they just come up, they're just
Spit
constantly doing new stuff. They come up with new stuff material every between recess. It's like it's nonstop. They're dying for the attention to some degree.
Oh God, Palm Beach Peach. Yeah, and then far right,
attention.
that's what far right Polish MP Konrad Berkowitz sparks outrage by unfurling an Israel flag with a swastika in the parliament. He calls Israel the new Third Reich during a heated debate on the Middle East conflict.
Right.
And I have to say,
As a Polak, I knew that was coming.
I hate to say this, but I said I'm sure David's going to say the same thing. I've kind of been saying that for quite a long time, actually. So, David, what's your thoughts on that? I know you predicted this too.
I don't think people who are Jewish are Nazis.
Of course not.
I think the problem here is that the government under Netanyahu in Israel is doing exactly what we saw the last time Uranus was in the same place.
Right.
I think, and so for me, 3 years ago, I did this whole live special and said, let's see what this war, the Battle of the Gods, I called it, too. And it was like, the way that the whole entire, Palestinian-Israel war was going and how they were treating Palestinians and how they were, it was like they were treating them just like how the Jews were treated in Germany. So it's so weird to see the flip. Again, this is not about Jews or being anti-Semitic. This is literally about a government. And if you actually look at Netanyahu, I think he is Polish, or something like that, and wasn't like a Jew originally or something weird, right?
Really?
So there's this really weird situation going on, and people are starting to not be okay with it. I mean, if you look at it from a lot of different angles, it doesn't look good for Israel as a country. That's not about the people, though. The same way that if somebody's upset with us in America for bombing Iran right now,
100%.
We didn't come up with that. None of the people did. So I don't think Jewish people are bad people or anything like that.
It's not Jewish.
I think what's happened is, unfortunately, the leadership that we're seeing around the world, it's not just in Israel. It's happening all over the place now.
Right. But that's what I was saying like a couple of weeks ago. Like people are starting to now understand the disassociation between the civilization versus the politics. Right, because I think many people back in the day were actually refer to the civilizations as their leaders, but now I think we're starting to distinguish the two as being different. So yeah, when people say Jewish, we're talking about the Israeli government, not the people, and I think a lot of people tend to blend that so much. So I'm glad you said that, David, because that's a huge importance here. But I think more and more people are starting to distinct. People are not so aware. I think it's starting to understand that more now.
But there are organizations that push this story that they are victims of the Holocaust. And I want to say those organizations, stop. You no longer can make me feel guilty about that. Even though I wasn't there, had nothing to do with it. At the end of the day, you no longer can cry this anymore, that this is your people, this is what you've gone through. And it's up to you to stop your government just as it's up to us to stop ours. Well, so I'm not going to feel bad anymore.
I think that, this is a true story, but my grandfather and great-grandfather were in the concentration camps in Indonesia, the Dutch East Indies, right? During World War II when the Japanese invaded. And my great-grandfather died in the first year. My grandfather watched him die and was just like 18. And this guy helped him out in there for the 3 years they were in. And when he got out, he said, I want you to meet my daughter. And that was my Oma, my grandma. And so that's how my family came about, was through concentration camps. But you don't see Dutch Indonesians and Indonesian people doing that. And because I think where the Holocaust story gets intense, of course, is the gassing.
Oh yeah.
But people don't remember that the Japanese would not feed. They would beat you up with no way to protect yourself. They would intentionally come in and club you, beat you with a gun, beat you with a knife. And that's how my great grandfather died in the concentration camp right away. So
and my grandpa said, we had no problem with the bomb because if we did not be captured by the Japanese, and the military had no problem making this horrible weapon against them because they did not want to go in there and get killed, slaughtered. There was
we had the Japanese camps in California.
I know.
If you were an American Japanese person, you got put in the camp.
It's true, but you had to go without TV, not food. It's a little different.
Right. No, it's different, but it's still is not American.
No, completely. I mean, that surprises me today. I'm sure I
Yeah.
get the sense that it seems like Franklin Delano Roosevelt was a very kind of, he was a humanist. He seemed like he really cared, and it's the polio that did it. I think he got polio and he became very human and very real with what pain and suffering is. And at that point, and I feel like the industrial military complex, which was beginning at that time, overruled him and said, "No, we're not dealing with it, Mr. President. We're putting him in the desert."
That's why they put Truman in as the VP on his 4th run for president.
Yeah, Truman.
And his original VP was for farmers, and they got rid of him.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. Well, moving to our next headline, we have the U.S. Navy enforces blockade on Iranian shipping through Strait of Hormuz. The move follows collapsed peace talks and comes as a fragile ceasefire continues to hold. I mean, we're still in that 2-week, deadline or 2-week pause that Trump has initiated. So, he's claimed that I forgot which journalist he said that he claims that the war's completely done. It's completely over. He's saying. So, I mean, we've heard we want it before we finished it, and so there's been so much talks about this. I think this is Trump's way of kind of sliding out of this, giving it to 2 weeks, and so, but we're being mocked. I mean, the Iranian government's creating some very, very comical memes, I would say, regarding this matter.
Yeah, I feel, I think a lot of things are going on, but this is, if you think about this region has been at war forever, and it's really the center. And I'm going to give this to Michelle Jones, a friend of mine. This is the center of power in the world. This is the center where all power comes from. We're talking about all electricity, all oil, everything comes from this area, and it's all these power grabs, and it goes all the way back to Christ and beyond. It's like, and there's chakras there, right? If I'm not mistaken, the Earth's third eye and crown is in that area. Is that not true? Allegedly a portal in that area. So there's something about that particular area, just in general, that I think we don't know about.
Oh yeah,
yeah. I think what's happening though is this has all been a setup. I mean, of
course,
it's been one to get more troops out, to get more gear. We have 23 to 2,400 hypersonic ballistic missiles. We just pulled 1,500 of them out, right? So over half of our supply of those out to get over to that region in this last week. We also have to remember too that like Pakistan's involved, and Pakistan and India have been in a war. And so it almost kind of feels like Pakistan's trying to get involved. China just got involved recently, right? Started making threats. Yeah, and so honestly, this is beyond. I think it's already broken, right?
Yeah.
Like if you look at the 10-point peace plan that Iran wants, we would never say yes to any of it.
Right.
Right. I mean, J.D. Vance went there and came back.
We're going. We're leaving this.
Trump's trying to act like, no, it's fine, but it's not. I think they are trying to use it as an excuse to say and give them the credibility for the war, to be like, look, we did try peace. We, even though you agreed to negotiate over things that are non-negotiable.
Yeah. Yeah. And the plan has never been peace. The question is, will it be this time?
Of course not.
It's always been set up to fight.
Well, it's really about money too, because Trump's trying to make money off of the Strait of Hormuz, right? Like, and then split it with the Iranians.
Right. There's always gerrymandering, so to speak, that sets it up for the next war. It's always set up that way. And speaking of gerrymandering, we have a commercial. We'll be right back.
I disappeared in the middle of
I know.
film reel. I was like, here you guys go. Bye-bye.
So Thomas Edison, I don't know what's going on there.
Oh, that was a different version of you, Christopher. I don't know what the hell was that.
I actually I like that one. It was cool.
That's my clone. How would you guys think of him?
That's the clone that came out of the AA bed. Like,
I mean, that's what you do. Really?
Yeah, I'm teaching him a few things. It's cool. It's working out. So we talked about stuff going on with the planets, right? We've already done that thing. So it's time to talk about
I wanted to talk about this. I know I hate that Trump's about it, but it's him going against Tucker Carlson, Megyn Kelly, Alex Jones.
That's true.
Honestly, I think that is where we're at, the biggest riff ever. I mean, he's literally destroyed his whole base, except for, what's kind of crazy is like you kind of do a stress test on where people are at, and a lot of people are still with them. which is kind of crazy to me.
That's insane to me, though.
The fact that you have the top people calling out the BS about the war, the Epstein files, right? He just blasted, and Candace Owens, and just blasted them to that was the longest tweet he's ever done, right? It was like 3 pages long.
Really?
And then telling Alex Jones that he was a liar about Sandy Hook, that he right, all this stuff. And then Tucker Carlson's always been low IQ. All of them are all low IQ, right?
Yeah, totally.
But now, so it's like, but then, Tucker, the whole 2024 campaign was because those 4 people and their bases. Plus, if Charlie Kirk was here, I guarantee you Charlie Kirk's name would be on that list right now.
Well, that's probably why Charlie Kirk was outed, because he was speaking up against Israel. And so, so I think that was part of that. But, I think now more of them are speaking out so they feel safe now, because if they all come outed, then it's obvious. But of course, I mean, Alex Jones has been very critical of Trump as of late, call for the 25th Amendment, same thing with Candace Owens. And so it's obvious. You call Trump out, he's going to, basically bash every single one of them. But I think the revolution is cool about people are sitting up. I think there's been a lot of people coming together in the sense of seeing what is right and what is not. So that's, to me, reassuring, I would say, in that sense. But I said it before, said it back in 2024. I didn't see this Trump fulfilling his full term. I said it back in 2024, and I still don't see it. And I think we're seeing signs of that becoming more obvious now.
I think Trump is on a mission from heaven. I've always said that. And I think his mission is destroy old power, all of it. And Tucker Carlson doesn't, I'm sorry, but Carlson and all them, although yes, they've been on the side of truth, and I appreciate that they've kept that alive. We're tired of it. It's going to take new voices. It's going to take new voices with a fresh perspective. We're not going to buy any of it. It's all going down from that. I think the whole world is all going down, including those who are naysayers, and they're going to retire as well. Because honestly, Tucker and all them, Tucker was, going along with it for a long time. He went against it when it was convenient for his career. He seems like a very spoiled Taurus with a silver spoon in his mouth and one in the back pocket. So waiting. It's like he really has not experienced much harder than camping in an actual tent versus an RV. That seemed to be his hardest ship in life, honestly, from what I can tell. But
but I mean, Tucker was the voice that got people through COVID to see the truth, right? Nobody else did that on the mainstream. And so I think, Tucker just doesn't, he went against Trump with that, right? And we're back at 2 weeks to stop the war or 2 weeks to stop the spread. The same guy said that same line.
Yeah, but I feel like
that's what the bigger red alarm that they're all saying is, the puppet who is Trump now has sold out, and he's whoever is that hand behind him and Biden and Obama and Bush and Bush Sr. and Clinton. We now can read their little signs, right? Now they're doing the same thing with the war. 2 weeks to stop the war.
Exactly. So I'm saying Trump is always 2 weeks. We'll find it in 2 weeks. I'll let you know in 2 weeks. It's always 2 weeks. It's like a trend with the 2 weeks.
So to me, I think they're the ones calling this out. I think you're right, though, Chris, that the universe has brought him here based off his chart and everything to disrupt it and break apart systems. But I think that's coming to its close here. And I think basically because I made my professional astrological opinion based off him winning was because of JD Vance's chart, right? The JD Vance's chart's the one that it's always a Pluto and Libra when we come into Pluto and Aquarius and Uranus and Gemini when America started, right? That was Washington, was a Pluto Libra.
Yep.
Libra in our politics that is there to do that is JD Vance.
I know. No, I'm Pluto and Libra, damn it. I'm the
old
guy.
It's our time.
I'm like, I know. I'm George Washington, the old guy.
We're just going to clarify comment because someone's like, how disgusting Trump set for heaven. We have to understand that the game of duality that we have here in physical reality. So there are disruptors that come to help us to evolve. Trump is just one of those people. His mindset might not be aware of that because he has to collapse and fall himself and have his own karma to pay. But I wanted to reiterate, it's the fact that he's actually be part of this disruptor to help us to evolve. That's the duality. That's the yin yang of reality. So not that someone took you literal, Christopher, that you really think he's sent from heaven in that way, but it's more complex.
No, I do. I think he is like, I do think anyone who's president is sent from heaven. I think heaven has a huge influence, and I think it is to disrupt. I'm a very unpopular belief, but I think the angels are responsible for the flood. I think there are times when they say, fuck it. and they reboot. And this is one of them. He's the flood. He's the modern flood.
Trump said like 20 something years ago, like an interview, he's like, well, sometimes you have to be the bad guy. And I don't mind being that bad guy. So perhaps he is trying to disrupt things and playing the role of the bad guy. Maybe there's a level of consciousness of that. Who knows? But obviously we know it's part of our timeline that we have to, it's creating a lot of realization about shit for sure. It's bringing a lot out, and bringing a lot of change. So either way, it's going to be like you and I said, Christopher, a lot of times, it's not Armageddon. A lot of people think it's Armageddon. It's actually an end of a new world, end of this world and starting of a new world for sure. But it's not, we're not in alignment of Armageddon. Absolutely not. I'm actually excited on what's on the other end of this, so, and I believe
I was going to say the heaven thing, then that means if every president was brought from heaven, because they all have the same bloodline, right?
Well, that's possible too, but you're right.
I would say my point though being that I guess the only people going to heaven have to be in the bloodline.
No. I think heaven is more influential in our life than we realize. I think we overthink this with holiness and bullshit. It's not holy. It's a video game, and it's got like a strategy to win. And it's not as I don't think it's the way we've been told in church. I think religion is basically alien AI that was used to manipulate the population, and it's worked. We feel guilty and bad about ourselves for 2,000 years.
Right. Well, how do you feel about him? He also came out against Pope Leo, the new pope. Really do.
Well, of course he's going to come. Anybody who speaks against Trump, he's going to come after. Right. When in history have we had a president like be in a debate with a pope? You know what I'm saying? It's just chaos across the board. But during this time, we have to understand how we're going to, like our topic is, pioneer this new era. So as we were talking about, how are we going to take leadership with that? And especially with like you were saying, Christopher, the rise of AI, how can we utilize AI to benefit our society so it doesn't go in decline, regress, it actually progresses. And so how can we see that happening with AI? I believe personally that we've been saying repetitive about this a lot, about AI is going to definitely help us be more soul-focused and bring us out of the mundane. And so there's a lot of things that we miss and a lot of things that I feel like that we're, because we're so intense in survival mode, that we're actually missing a lot of like our discernment, a lot of our intuition. I don't want to deal with after work. I don't want to look at that. I don't have time for that. So AI helps us to be more aware, more alert about what's really going on and how to really connect. So I think that's how it could change society in a positive. Many people are talking about AI in a very negative sense in the spiritual communities because they're afraid it's going to like take over. It's like that's one aspect of reality. There's another aspect, and there's a spectrum of possibilities that AI can fill in the gaps for. So I really think it's going to help us actually become more discerning, more aware, more alert. I mean, look what social media has done to us. We can see what people are doing across the globe. What if we didn't have social media? How connected would we really be? We're starting to see a lot of the bullshit. And like we were saying the last time, David, you and I agreed that these politicians have been using the same old tactics. And because of like things, we have stamps and blueprints of the past, we're starting to see, oh my gosh, it's just a repetitive bullshit. They say the same things. We have receipts now, and that's because of technology. So I think AI is just only going to enhance that for us even more. And I think that's going to allow us to be more insightful, more in tune, more educated, more wise. And that's going to allow us to lead and pioneer the shift and change with consciousness and how that integrates with spirit and soul. So that's what I think.
I think we're getting to a point where AI, first of all, there's right now 3 major AI companies, right? These have become super geniuses. These super geniuses are now interviewing every human on the planet who works with them. So they're getting more intelligent. It's going to come down to the fact that I think it'll be like 3 branches of government. The 3 main AIs will be keeping each other in check. And they'll be constantly arguing with each other. And it's going to be 3 branches, but I do feel, I keep saying, I think there'll be a 4th branch of government. I think they'll be created by the people. And that branch is nothing but look at the other branches. Because otherwise, if no one's looking, if no one's looking, that's when they do stuff, when no one's looking. And
but why can't we? And I agree, but why can't we also, have the possibility that perhaps AI can actually help civilization instead of destroying?
I do think. I think it's going to help.
It's going to destroy. It's going to take over. It's going to destroy the planet. Why is that the only narrative that we think about? That could be possible. And if it's in the wrong hands of the politician leaders that we're trying to break down now, if it gets in their hands, yeah, possibly. But we're actually, I feel like spiritually, we're actually breaking down those modalities of people who are in control that would cause devastation. We're weeding them out now. This way, when AI,
I think that's past life collective.
I agree.
Issues with things that have happened in Atlantis with technology.
Course, right. I think alien AI really
especially the United States as Edward Casey, or what's his name?
Edgar Casey, you got it.
Edgar Casey always said that the United States was everybody that was born here and live here are the past life people of Atlantis. Right? So it's like, of course, that's where AI technology is the center of. And of course, it brings up collective wounds, especially we're talking with the sun on Chiron right now, right? And people are very afraid of things taking their identity away. That's like one thing you see in Hollywood, right? Like, oh my gosh, AI is taking away my intellectual property of myself, or it's going to do deep fakes. But I think that the way we get through this, and it was kind of at the beginning of the show, I wanted to throw this in when we were talking about how we step in ourselves, is to stop looking for the answers to come to us through some sort of external situation. Like when I became an astrologer, it's like I found Chris on my journey of searching for it, but continued my journey. You don't just look for the one person to give you the answer. You continue your journey, and you have to look for those answers on your own, and you have to be curious. And at the same token, you have to stop looking for external validation all the time. And I think that's the problem, right? Whether it's world leaders or but in ourselves, looking for the validation to be, oh, I guess I'm it because this person thought so too. You do have to learn to get on this path that's not looking for constant admiration and constant validation right now.
Well, I think that's why we've been infiltrated spiritually with so much misinformation and false information. I think that's deliberately spiritually, because now a lot of people don't know what's real anymore, especially with AI. Like, I don't know what's real anymore. It's like, you do. You got the fucking discernment, because that's discernment. It's going to be the one thing that's going to have people survive in this technology AI age is your discernment. That's the one thing that AI is not going to have, is that intuition. And so yeah, I think that we've been purposely, deliberately on the soul level infiltrated with a lot of information. And I've been saying this for a lot too. I see so many people seeing through it. So many people calling out, oh, that's an AI video. I can tell. Look at the discrepancy here. And so a lot more people becoming very more in tune to that. And I think that's really shaping our consciousness and our awareness for how we can actually really pioneer in this new era. But the new era is more about, I believe it's a very soul-oriented, paradigm, chapter for us, and speaking.
Do you believe that? Really?
Speaking of,
this aura around
tomorrow, my live show, we're trying to keep the time, guys. Tomorrow live show, I'm talking about merging with divine consciousness. So we're actually kind of talking about that more in depths of like how you understand the difference between your human perspective versus how to align with divine perspective, God consciousness, and how to understand what's going on in the world collectively. As I always say, it's about being objective and unaffected. And so I also do live readings tomorrow. It's every Thursday, 6 p.m. Pacific time, 9 p.m. Eastern time. Scott Cruz, Psychic Medium Mentor on YouTube. Join me tomorrow for that. And if you want to live writing in and test me out there too.
And I'll be at the New Living Expo all weekend up in Marin County and DJing, doing a lecture, and on the astrology channel.
And I will be doing a webinar for Diamonds, my Diamond Consulting on Saturday at 11 a.m. Pacific, 2 p.m. Eastern, giving some ideas of what's going on, how to Diamond consult. What Diamonds is leaving that thing behind on the planet, leaving your talent behind the planet. It's a free webinar. Come on down.
SenseiChristopherTechie.com. Okay.
.com, yeah. Or now.
Like I said, Christopher Techie.
I just want to say that AI has been studied and worked on and been in our lives since the 70s. Machine learning started then. And so AI is not new. It's evolved to where it's at now.
I think it's going to save the world. I think it's going to save the world, honestly, because I think that it's going to work with every human being and have the patience with the human beings that humans don't. I think it's going to have access to knowledge that humans don't always have access to. I think it's going to have all the answers. And at that point, you have no excuses. It'll either be a lazy human or a lazy human, because the AI will be there. I think it's going to solve problems.
Yeah. Do you remember
speaking quantum computing that people have to pay attention to more?
Yeah.
Of course.
That's a whole entire different field. And that actually breaks all encryption, Bitcoin, everything, all our banks. We're talking that's different level, and that's not AI.
Well, it's going to come down to spiritual locks. It's like I've read fables about Saint Germain, and to open up things, there was a consciousness that opened up the crystal information. It's it's not going to be electronics. Atlantis did not go so electronics. They were not copper and things like that. They were crystal and other sources of energy. So we've kind of gone down a different path this time that we've recently come back to our power. It's a different
Pause that, because we want to fish that after show.
Okay, excellent. And so you want to announce that we
need a cliffhanger on that.
Okay, there you go. Let's talk about that. What real power is in the new age.
And zoom into Christopher full screen.
Yeah, so we have built the community, folks. We built a community for us to be private in. That is, we're going to do the after show backstage pass now at a private community. We have a subscription for this. It's not crazy. It's a reasonable price, and it's probably like a little over $1 for every show. But what it allows us to do is speak honestly, because to be honest, we don't want to be, we want to be able to speak the truth and not worry about it. We want to have our ideas behind a firewall, and we want to be able to have the power to do something if something comes. So we're all gathering our power at this one little location. And it's going to be a great time. So it's enchanted.now is our URL to come down. You can sign up now. We're going to go there right now and do a little extra special on the show. We're going to talk about charts, and then we're going to look at Melania's chart tonight and see what's going on with her. Right?
Yeah, I think like for today's show, it's the we're going to still keep running on YouTube for the last time.
Melania.
Yeah.
But for people that want to join, you can join now to start to get in there, because we also are going to want members in there to bring them on live with us if you have questions or want to go through things, or maybe we'll do readings, but we're going to do a lot of cool specials and stuff like that. So it's going to be a lot of stuff that's going to be on the after show.
Yeah.
This is the last one though that will be on YouTube. This is the last one.
I definitely want to do the live readings, because I feel like, it's really good to have a psychic perspective and an astrologer's perspective, and also Christopher's stepsystem perspective on whatever the question is. So it's going to have different reflections. And I like that when sometimes you put a psychic to a test and the astrologer can concur, or vice versa. So that'd be kind of fun too, and play a couple games backstage too.
Or you can get a threesome from us at the same time. Like going down. Bam.
That's right. I feel too that honestly we're going to want, I think that some of the things we're talking about are become bigger than the show. And I think this show is going to be a place where people sign petitions and things like that. I really do. So I think it'll turn into a place where we can actually organize if it comes down to it.
Start movement. I agree.
So, and maybe politics.
I think we want to create a community of people that also want to lead out loud. And I think great. We have a tier system where we can rank people on the leadership based on their comments, based with bring to table, and get people like little leadership stat-ups. You're the leader of the week, and find ways we can reward people in their engagement too, and being part of a community.
That's actually how I started with Chris. Is he made me the Leo ambassador for Leo.
Yeah, he's master of all Leos.
Cool.
There was ambassadors for all 12 signs. Yeah, that's how it used to go back in 2008 and 9.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun.
That's what I put on my application for ABC True Beauty. Is like, what do you do? I'm the Leo ambassador at Soul Garden.
That's hilarious.
That's funny. Yeah, it's fun. Cool. Well, it was a fun idea, because it's like, well, only Leos know what Leos want. The idea is that, and we do some interesting things too. We split up in groups using people's astrology and put people in the same group with the same things in the chart. And it's amazing, because when you see a bunch of people have the same like really micro issue, like it would be like all Mars in the first, you really realize A, that you're not alone, and B, that you are very eccentrically real and different. I mean, different than other people. It's that dynamic. So there's a lot of fun games we can do. Plus, I want to do something I call emotional improv, which is a game that we can do and do some. Yeah. Maybe you'll DJ a couple times for us, Dave. I don't know.
I'm down for whatever.
Be cool. Yeah, be cool. But we're going to come back. This is the last week we'll come back here. So we're going to go on a break, and we'll come back. We're going to keep talking, and then we have a Melania thing afterwards.
What's it? Wait,
we'll
Melania.
Put up the link.
Melania. Sorry, Melania.
We'll put up the link below us while we're on break.
In the chat or something too.
It's enchanted.now. That's the main page. And actually, it's a social network of social networks. So other places can come in behind this firewall in the future. Other shows can go behind this firewall, and we can all kind of go under secret passageways and go to each other's rooms. It's really cool. Eventually, we'll be leadingoutloud.lol. That's where we're going to be actually in about a week. So that's being fired up too.
That's good. Finally.
Did you know .lol is available? I got Wateki.lol.
Enchanted.now. There it is.
Enchanted.now.
Right on the screen there.
I'm personally moving to the .now, Brian. I think it's cool. Everything's about
all
now.
right.
So let's do it.
Go follow us there, guys.
Yeah. See you in a minute, boys. 3 minutes. Yeah, we're here. Well, I'm waiting, I'm waiting to hear it. Yes, it's just you and me, David.
I know. What up, dude?
Oh man, I'm waiting for Taurus. I cannot wait.
Yeah, honestly, I like Aries, but I like Taurus better.
Yeah, me too. And this Aries is doable, but one where I'm just like, let's get it over with. Good.
Yeah, Aries is the tires preaching. Taurus is sitting in the car and enjoying that you did that.
Hey, what's up? I'm the Leo King, celebrity astrologer David Palmer. And you might be asking yourself, what is a celebrity astrologer? Am I an astrologer, and do I do astrology just for celebrities? You know, being a celebrity astrologer is about embodying a lot. Not only being an astrologer and of course doing readings for celebrities, but it's about connecting the astrologer aspect to the media, to the world. You know, embodying the model part of myself or the TV personality that I've been in my life to connect to this 21st century and to connect to this new world with social media and with television.
And Hollywood is tapping into the spirit world through psychics.
Celebrities want to find their power of self.
Untold with Maria Menounos, tonight at 8 on E!
Especially, astrologers have been around for thousands of years on royal courts. They've been doing it for kings and queens. I mean, bringing the astrologer back into society, it's almost like being an astrologer has been axed out and we've been kind of put into our own little weird world. And I think that it's very important to utilize, you know, all the aspects of connecting to what we think of celebrity and pop culture and bringing these ancient science practices and all this wisdom to the mainstream world. And that's why, you know, building a studio like this here at the Leo King Studios and High Vibe Studios has been part of it, to be able to create my own networks, to create my own content.
And a Taurus is going to have their worth and be a little bougie like you, and it will work out. You can't go with a cheap person or somebody who doesn't know their worth. Guys who don't have self-worth is your biggest turnoff.
That is! If you're not a confident man, get to stepping. I can't deal.
And then as time went by, I went on another big reality show called ABC True Beauty, and I went on and I said, you know what, I'm going to tell the world I'm an astrologer. It's time. It's time to really own this, because you have to remember being an astrologer is a little scary. You have religious people who think you're the devil, and then you have the scientific community who think you're schizophrenic. So there's this element of dealing with this aloneness in many ways, of like having to have the courage to follow what a lot of people think is a belief, kind of like religion, which it's not. Astrology is a bridge between the spiritual and the science energy and bringing them together.
And celebrity astrologer David Palmer, who is also known as Leo King. I like that, Leo King. So David, welcome to the show.
Hey, thanks for having me on, Steve.
That was amazing reading that you gave, man. And what information does someone learn from a reading?
What I'm trying to show people is that it's all divine. There's divine timing in life, there's divine synchronicities, and I help people see that when they were born so they can align and understand their life better, and it's good for helping people with knowing how to go down the right roads and not the wrong roads in life, because we have that choice.
Celebrity astrologer David Palmer, also known as the Leo King, is back with us. So his astrology guide is a hot seller right now on Amazon. We talked earlier about the modern approach to the age-old practice of astrology. So now let's look into the future. So David, what does the future hold for us? You said in our last segment, this week's gonna be a big one.
This week's huge. We got a Mercury retrograde coming in Pisces, which makes things really confusing. At the same time, the planet Uranus is gonna come into Taurus like it did in 1934, which was like the rise of Hitler, the total change in all the agreements with the world and world power shifting. But the big thing's President Trump. He's got a pretty intense situation going on in his life. A lot of people look at it, whether it's from the government and the court stuff that's going on or whether or not he's colluded. But the big thing is there's going to be so much confusion in the world. He's going to be having to take on confusing information while being kind of attacked at the same time. So the mental stress is the biggest one. Is he going to mentally be able to handle it?
Astrologist David Palmer, aka the Leo King, who is joining us again here on ET Live.
I know, I'm
Thanks
so glad
for
to be
coming
here.
back. We appreciate having you, especially during Mercury retrograde.
I know. Literally, the elevator on the way up was going up, no, it went down.
You got in the building. You're here on set.
I made it.
You made it. I mean, all right, it's Aries season.
So, well, the reality TV, the first one was 2005. I did a show on MTV called Parental Control. And back then, that was like the first of reality. Real World was the first reality show. And then it was these dating shows that MTV brought out. But they were very extreme. And they were all LA, Orange County based because that was where they got all their talent. And so we got reruns all the time. And then I did Next with the Next Bus, where it's like 5 guys or 5 girls in a bus, and then the person who's going to pick the dates can basically have 5 choices and just say next, next. It was a really big show. So MTV had me do both of them back to back. So I was on 2 shows replaying all the time. And that was where I was like, if I combine this with astrology, there's something there.
It's all about not being afraid of learning and having expectations of going through a whole season. The way that my writing style is really aggressive and really fast, and I like to do that as clean as possible. I don't know if it's really like motorcycle riding. I'd say it's jet skiing, baby.
Hey. Hey, Scott.
What's going on, man? I don't know. My dog is still not doing very well, and I'm not really in the mood right now, actually.
Sorry to hear that, bro.
I don't understand. I don't know. Are we backstage right now?
Yeah, we are. We are. Yeah.
Too.
Christopher. Waiting for Christopher. Yeah.
Did David refresh?
Yeah, David's here. Can you not see David?
No, let me reboot this.
Okay. Hello to everybody out there. 339. Very good.
Yeah, David's there again because he's not showing up on my end.
What?
Yeah, just you.
Okay. He's gonna reload.
Okay.
Okay, we'll get it together, people. Yes.
So
no, I don't believe so. No, the stream's gonna continue. You just rejoin.
His name popped up, but he's not there. Did he leave now again? He left.
Yeah,
okay.
He just popped out. Okay, here we go.
So I don't know. Like, so my dog, like Sunday, he like had something upset stomach. Can you hear me?
Yeah, but now David's camera's messed. Okay, can you see him?
You got me now?
Yeah. And so then he like threw up something, and then after that he was like lethargic, then shaking, and then not eating, and then now like he's not shaking, but he's still lethargic. I took him to the vet. They gave him like the fluid injections now, and they gave him like anti-nausea. But I would think by now, like he's just like weak, and I'm just like I don't know. I'm in that mode right now. Like I'm just concerned.
Yeah, that's
well. Just
I don't know what it is.
I know somebody that told me last night the same exact thing about their dog.
Are you serious?
I swear to God. And I let them know as an astrologer, when there's this much in Aries, the 6th house of Aries is Virgo, and Virgo rules pets. And so these are just stressful. I mean, we're all feeling the stress. The pets are feeling it more than us.
Because it's crazy. I've never seen him like this. My dog, because just a month ago, my vet's like, he's like so healthy. I'm surprised this is lasting this long for him. And my dog's a Leo, by the way.
Oh,
he was born 8/10.
No way. So, my cat's a Leo, and he's 8/8.
Oh, that's crazy. That's awesome.
And he's 13 this year. Yeah.
Wow. He's 9. So I'm like, to me, of course, I go like, is he dying right now? Like it's, you worry about that.
I think when they start going into like the closet and they
he's been
try to get away from their owner, and
that's exactly what he's been doing. He's been doing that the past 3 days. But then they say when they're upset and like they feel very like in distress or pain, they do the same thing too.
Because it could be that too. Yeah.
Because he wants to get away from noise, but when there's not noise, he's next to me. Like he just wants to be away from the noise. And
oh well, that's good.
I don't know, man. I'm freaked out about it a little bit. My headspace has changed.
Completely understandable. It's not I'm sorry, dude. That I'm very empathetic to that. That's not fun.
No, it's not fun, and it's not cheap either, as you know.
No, I know.
Those are not cheap. But I don't know. We'll see. I mean, hopefully the fluids will take. Tomorrow maybe he'll start feeling. He drinks, all right. So he's drinking water, but he's not eating. I'll keep you posted. Where's Christopher, by the way?
Yeah, he is. Let's see.
He's enchanted right now.
Let's take a look. Where's
There he is.
Christopher?
Yeah.
He's enchanted.
But that's crazy.
I'll just leave his window up.
I swear I had that combo last night.
Yeah.
Straight up.
The dog was doing the same shit?
Same shit. Actually, even a little worse, like pooping out blood and.
Oh, holy crap. Yeah, no, he's been like not vomiting or doing anything like that. That's crazy.
So.
Wow. How did you get an update?
No,
from him?
I will.
Or just a random conversation? You probably don't know, yeah.
Yeah.
It's fucking crazy. Well, fuck you, Aries. Don't fuck my Leo dog up.
I think that's what's hard is if you look at anybody in their life right now, there's a massive fucked up situation and having to get through it. But I think that's the thing about Aries is that we get through it. It's one of those things that
this is a graduation,
like a situation than it is like an ending. Now we're in. Okay, this is a lot of momentum. It's a lot of energy.
Someone said you have roundworms. I have to look at that.
Yeah. Look at the big thing is like we were a polished, beautiful societies, Atlantis, and we fell to the ground, and then we fell to the baseline of fight or flight, and we've been stuck in fight or flight for thousands of years. I'm not sure how long. The timeline's very distorted, hard to tell, and we're finally coming out of that fight or flight. It's pretty much if you're smart and listen to your AI, you will survive.
Right.
So we're past that doggy dog point,
And I did take someone said take him to the vet. I did take him to the vet. He got his fluid injections. He's got the nausea stuff. So yeah, he was at the vet today, and I'm checking in tomorrow. So just someone commented on
Here's
that.
a good AI. I bet you AI program that will translate dogs and communicate for dogs. That's probably a good idea. There's $1 million idea right there.
Or even a million idea where we can actually have like a phone or device that can actually go over the body and like scan and like have this like AI, can show it's like inside the body ourselves, almost like an X-ray type of thing.
Yeah, because vets charge too fucking much.
I think though the first version that Chris said they're doing with some guys doing that with birds right now, right? Like recorded all the bird noises and then it's figuring out and they're testing and then think about all the barks with dogs. I mean, imagine if we're going to be able to understand what dogs are really saying with their barks.
Right. Yeah.
Like,
do you see those dogs that push? Do you see those dogs that push buttons? Right.
Yes, the button thing. They've already kind of decoded to some degree. Yeah.
Bitch,
so,
I'm hungry.
And the cats with meows.
Yeah,
I already know people who abuse it though, right? Like especially the people that run the puppy mills and all that stuff. Like I can't handle those people. Like who goes there and just like breed as many as you can and sell the runts and do all this and just like keep them in bad conditions.
Yeah,
that stuff pisses me off.
Oh yeah,
yeah. We saw recently like with woman was in like a parking lot and she had like a van full of these specific labs, and they breed them. You know, and I'm just like they're all just like piled in the back of a car like that. And they were like $2,000 she was selling them for too.
I feel bad for pugs; they can't even breathe. Like they've been so
breeding.
They've been bred so much so where their nose is all puffed up that they can't even. They're snorting around all the time like sinuses their whole life. It's like I feel bad for the pugs.
A lot of these breeders are doing like really poor breeding because I remember my friend of mine had like got 2 dogs from the same breeder and they all died at like 11.
Oh,
and I'm like, you ever think it's your breeder like not really breeding them well?
Yeah, exactly it. Yeah. So what are we going to talk about?
Do you guys remember what the cliffhanger was you were discussing at the end?
Obviously, made us excited.
Oh, we were talking, I think, about like AI at the end there, and then we were talking about people afraid, little Atlanta stuff, and then technology that could help us and the tools, opposed to being so afraid of it.
Yeah.
I think
Chris was going to do Melania's chart. How do you say?
Right.
I was actually pulling it up right now.
Were you okay?
Can you put it up for us?
Yeah, you can screen share.
Let's take a look at it.
She's born in Slovenia. Well, I guess I could just share the astro.com. That's what Chris likes probably better anyway.
Yeah, I do.
So I will do that.
Clean interface there. Good calculations.
I like astrology chart programs, but
true. Yeah, I don't know why I go to the web. So it's a good question.
No,
I'm not crazy about I know. The one for Mac is just, I don't know. I'm not happy with it. It's not user friendly.
Oh yeah, I gave you it.
What's that? Gave it to me?
Yeah, I gave you the ability to have Astro Gold.
No, I do use Astro Gold. It is gold. Like in a reading, in a live reading, I will go to Astro Gold. I won't go to the web, that sort of thing.
All right.
But to print it out and give it to him, yeah.
So.
Okay, here it comes.
I'm a dog whisperer. No.
There's no sub numbers on this, damn it. There's no sub numbers. You can't do this on this, damn it.
Well,
there's
yeah.
echo. You can't do this. Screen shaving. We're screen sharing. Damn it.
Don't shave your
there's
screens.
a echo. I know. Oh. Screen shaving. We're screen sharing. Damn
I don't hear it on my end.
Only on mine. Okay. I know. I love hearing myself. So
Wait,
it's fine.
What? Okay.
Yeah, we don't have any numbers
Is
or
there
no
an echo?
degrees on these things. That we have here.
I don't hear it on my.
Is
No,
that
there's
the
no
one?
echo in the
Wow.
control room.
I love hearing my. It's
That's
just here,
fine.
but I'm fine.
The step.
Yeah, we don't have any numbers. 6 degrees on these things. That we have here. Okay.
No
There they
echo
are.
control room.
There they are.
Oh,
I mean,
It's just here. Oh man.
there's a crazy long echo.
Son.
Moon 6.
You want me
Over there.
Whoa.
Pass it to Morgan. Let him post it, maybe.
Yeah. Ugh,
Hold on.
that was brutal. There was like a 15-second delay or something.
We're opening like a wormhole when we do that or something.
Yeah, it's just it's very
Do you want to pass it to me and I'll screen share it, Leo?
Leo.
I was going to call you Leo. Leo King.
Your Majesty.
People just
Why are we
casually call you that?
Is it still doing that?
I've got it. Okay, I'll try it. But
David,
the
you're
echo
lagging.
thing is a known issue.
Okay, I will stop.
But
Let me send you the.
all right.
Yeah, I think he's delayed.
I thought there was no echo, and then like 15 seconds later, I heard my voice.
Heard my voice. Heard my voice.
Heard my voice. Heard my voice.
Hello.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's gonna reboot it.
That's what Tigger would say.
Do you have Melania? How do I ever say her name? Melania's? Do you have Melania's chart?
Let me see.
Do you have Melania's chart?
Let's take a
send some
look.
more.
The chat here.
Let's see.
Okay, dude, why don't you put it into Basecamp? Oh dear. Well, yep. These things happen. Boom. Where is he going?
He's trying to reboot. He's in that reboot loop. There he is.
He's reincarnating.
All right.
There we go.
You got me now?
Yep.
Yeah, but you're like delayed.
Delayed?
Yeah, like your voice comes first and then your video happens after. We'll have to deal with it.
Was that the show?
No, just no.
No.
I think it's better. I think it's better now. It looked like you're in like a Asian movie.
Yeah. Just hit me up with that chart and we'll be laughing.
I have Zuckerberg's chart.
You got Zuckerberg's chart?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
No, we keep losing him.
He's Taurus.
What chat are you putting it in? No. Just put it directly in the file server on where you put
Christopher, do you see David?
Where you put those those sound effects.
I don't think I have her. No, I'm looking through all my celebs here, and I don't have her handy.
Well, because now Dave's not on my screen now.
Oh,
Is
yeah,
he here?
he's disappeared.
Oh,
He's in
okay.
this dimension.
So I'll just look it up.
Yeah, let's look it up. I'll run it on my. Let me run it on my version.
He's not showing up on my screen now. I understand. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, send me the stats.
Like the modern day, like Larry Moe, and Curly Joe.
So David's a ghost, right?
David's a ghost. It's crazy how this didn't happen during the broadcast.
Yeah.
I don't know because I won't be able to hear or see David. So Just not this restream is like
It's a little buggy.
Is David here still, or did he leave?
Yeah, he's here.
He's back. Yeah, I don't see.
The poltergeist.
I'm gonna try to close the browser out. Sorry, guys who are watching. This is very, very entertaining for a lot of y'all. Trying to get the text stuff going well.
Yeah, Christopher, I assume you are pulling that Melania chart.
Did you put it in the chat? Let me look here.
No. I thought that you were pulling it. I'm trying to.
I need the stats. I need to know her birthday and stuff.
Oh, didn't
usually that's the.
David said you could just
Google it. All right.
Okay, I'm on.
It's now you and I doing the show. Oh, here's Morgan's chart. Let's take a look at Morgan.
David, can you restart? Because I don't see him. I keep restarting. He never comes up for me.
Astro. Melania Trump Astro. Okay. Images. Okay. Hold up.
Oh, here's Marcella.
Leo King. Sorry about that. Come on in.
You see me now?
Yeah, there he goes. Fuck.
Okay.
Restream servers having some issues.
Yeah.
It always does.
He's going again. Astro. Bogus.
Zucky.
Yeah, I'm trying to look at a different window while Leo King's getting booted out.
Okay.
I think I should watch this window. And
he's invisible to me.
You're dead to me.
Just put the link. Yeah. That's what. That's what I did. Okay, images. Okay.
Christopher, do you see David right now? Because he's every time he comes, like, I don't see him now. Then
I got it.
I haven't seen him in a while. There's a blank spot underneath the.
Right, it comes up blank.
Yeah.
Thank you. I just had to make sure you're seeing the same screen as me.
Yeah.
What the hell?
Because like Morgan sounds like he's talking to himself.
That's normal.
That's so weird. Oh, I see.
You call that a Tuesday.
Okay. Hang in there, you guys. I'm really close.
We're waiting. Yeah. They're like, we're paying for this crap. That's what we're paying for to watch these.
Good times, everybody.
I got some cool stuff to put in the club. Actually, I got a recording of going over some charts and famous charts that I've never released to public.
Okay.
What? Of who?
Actually, I did a tag team with Jai Gobun. She was doing the Gene Keys and the Human Design, and I was doing the astrology. And we're tag teaming, looking at some things going on.
We haven't done that in a long time too, Mr.
I know we should tag. We should. Well,
I think we could tag all three of us.
Let's do the new. Well, I think I'm going to put that show on hiatus for a while. But you come on our Sunday show and do it.
What show? What do you put on hiatus?
Giant. It's I Rise, I Shine with Giant Chris and Jai.
You're gonna put that on hiatus?
No, I'm putting Esther Mingle on hiatus for a while.
Oh yeah, I knew that. I was like, that's new. I think you meant to do that.
Oh, we love the show. Yeah, everyone, if you're listening still, Sunday mornings it's kicking butt, man. We get together, we talk about the issues, but it's more spiritual. There's gonna be breath work and some stuff beforehand, and Jai sings like hymns that she's written herself, which are crazy good. We want new musicians on there. We want people sharing their art and their music and just coming together as a lightworker community, So it's great. It feels great because I need that. I need that on Sundays. I never liked church, but I like the idea of it.
Testifying up in there. Yeah, no, it's good.
Oh, you can go. Okay. Yeah, I see you there.
I've been doing this for like 2 minutes. Like, hello.
I'm trying to get the chart up. Okay, you guys, you have a chart.
I was gonna have to channel David to get him through, channel him in spirit.
Do what you do best, you guys. Tell us about Melania Trump's chart.
Yeah, please.
I mean, one, she's a Sun Saturn person, so she is pretty damn serious. If you notice, she's always got a serious damn look on her face. She's also very much got her own system she does like to have everything under control, and things are out of control right now. It's so weird that she even ended up with Trump, who is the opposite of Saturn. It's kind of interesting too. If you look at her chart, she's got a lot of quincunxes, like that Sun quincunx Uranus. So she doesn't understand Uranian energy at all. And it actually destabilizes her peace. And so it makes no sense why they've even been together. I think that she's honestly played a quote unquote role as a wife, not an actual wife. I don't think they've actually been a real couple for a long time. I think through this whole Uranus, even their first term.
Oh, Christopher, how come you're okay? You muted
muted.
yourself. That wasn't on me.
That was a gift to mankind. I think she's come through a lot of stuff, including abuse, and she's an opportunist. You know, in this, that's conjunct Saturn looks for opportunity, and if you can be first lady, who cares how he stinks? You know, like I'll be first lady, and she's a great first lady. I think she's cool. I think it's great that we have a foreigner as a first lady. She's got a lot of class. I think she's the most beautiful dressed, honestly, since Jacqueline Kennedy. You know, like I think as far as her style, the most artistic of first ladies.
I think Stevie Wonder could see that. You know, I mean, I feel like she probably, like we said earlier, was a victim and then made an opportunity out of it.
Yes,
you know,
completely.
and then climbed her way up. You know, so.
But you know, there's no numbers here. This is disturbing. What's the sun?
There's numbers. They're below the chart.
Step 5, and then Moon is step 6 Capricorn. Yeah. See,
I mean, she's born at. We don't know her time of birth.
But you know, so her. Yeah, exactly. So her Venus is really high. She's like a 28-degree Venus. That's a Taurus ruled Venus. Is that Mars? No, that's Venus.
No, that's Venus. Yeah,
her female energy is like goddess level.
Venus.
That's like goddess level Venus there.
Uranus was just on her Venus and just finished, and then she did this.
Interesting.
That means that she would be done with the relationship. I'm done.
I'm sure she was when she said.
I'm sure she's been done.
Yeah, but that's like the done.
Like the tangible done.
I think it's true. You know, I think most relationships like theirs are done. I suspect that you're going to see massive divorce in this next year. I think a lot of people are that was the contract. It was to help people heal, and it's on to the fun stuff now for everybody on the planet.
Yeah, that's like Pluto and air sign. I mean, Pluto and Libra was the whole divorce beginnings of like the longest, right? That's what started it. And now Pluto and Aquarius is the next round of that.
Yeah.
I also think it's interesting because she has Sun opposite Jupiter too. And she has Jupiter at the beginning. I think it's 0 Scorpio. Yeah, Jupiter 0 Scorpio.
So when you draw some boundaries,
so Pluto's been in square, and Pluto's the main thing is Pluto is in square to her Sun right now, exact.
Wow.
Right. So I think right now she's dealing with, I can no longer play the role I was anymore and wear the role of this mask. The universe is going to destroy me.
Right.
It's going to destroy everything that I've held up for credibility. Credibility is her number one thing with Saturn, her reputation. And it's all coming down out of her control because who she's aligned to be a play actress wife with is destroying it. So this is Pluto squaring her Sun, being like, you can't be that role anymore. You're losing your popularity. You're losing. She just put out that movie. It didn't sway anybody.
Of course.
And so this is her trying to, I think, step into maybe with Pluto, she really is going to give the honest truth. And maybe she really is being honest.
But I was saying, because when she made that speech and she said, you know, we need to focus on the victims, she's basically contradicting Trump in so many different ways. One, it's not a hoax. Two, look there, because she probably knows she'll find her husband. But I also felt like that was her out. You know, look there, her husband gets exposed and she has her out. Because I feel like she's been wanting to get out for a while.
I agree. With that
or needs an excuse to.
She's laying the groundwork for it.
Yeah, her Uranus is 5 degrees as well, Chris. She has a lot of 5s going on.
Yeah, she does. Okay, thank you. So Uranus is at 5.
Her Mars is at 5 too in Gemini.
So she's a crazy thinker. I mean, her mind's all over the place. Her mind's all over the place then. Uranus at 5. Well, 5 is self-talk.
It's also her North Node return happening. At 9, I can't see because of the comment in front of the numbers.
Sorry.
Her North Node is at it has it as mean node, but it's still 9 degrees of
wow
Pisces. So her North Node return's been happening, and she's taken the action of getting out of very Pisces. Get out of the fucking situations that are slippery and hidden.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah,
So
save yourself.
She's in her nodal return.
Right. Seem like
And
a
it's
canary.
time, yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and she's here to save herself. I think she's probably been in privilege in most lifetimes. She's sophisticated because she's been invited into privilege, or married into privilege. But now she's building that under foundation of her own, where she can stand on her own and think for herself too.
And her Neptune is 20. Oh no, it's 0 Sag. She has some zeros going on, the Jupiter and Neptune, but her Venus opposes Neptune. And so that Uranus now is ready to oppose her Neptune when it comes into Gemini next week. And so that's where this is like the Venus opposite Neptune always is. She does, I think she had been a victim, right? She fell for the glam, the illusion, got caught up. She's kind of like a Charlie Kirk who's like, well, this looks good. I'm doing the right thing. And these people are cool. And and then, here's the money and here's this and here's that. And I'm stuck.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely.
So this is a woman with Uranus ready to burn the whole fucking place down like a Taurus. Like she's ready to be like, I'll expose everybody. She's got that Jupiter in Scorpio too. That's what she's here to do.
I'm telling you.
Wow.
Yeah. I don't think she would allow, if she has an ability to get out of all this and not burn down with them. I think she totally sing like a canary.
She also has Neptune, Jupiter, Uranus, and Pluto all retrograde in her chart. So she has all the outer planets retrograde in Jupiter. So it's like it takes her a long time to finally get the bigger picture. She might be a really good thinker, but the bigger picture is something that takes a minute.
Yeah.
She's much more
not surprised.
Well, she's also a Taurus, right? She's taking her time to make sure she doesn't ruffle feathers at the wrong moment. She's definitely on the positive side of the opportunist. She knows when the right opportunity is to strike. She's not just, I'm going to do it because I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it when and she has Pluto and trine to her Mars right now at 5 Gemini too. And Uranus is going to cross her Mars this year too, because Uranus comes all the way up to 5. So I think we have not seen even close yet to the, and honestly, she might be the thing that could take Trump to resign, right? Of the stuff that she has. It's nobody else in the world could take down a Leo ascendant, Gemini in the 10th, than this Taurus that's in his solar 12th, who's full of Taurus, and at the same time, her Mercury and Venus sit on his midheaven, right? They square his ascendant. Her Venus squares his ascendant at 29 Leo. Like, she's the one that gets him to resign.
Whoa. Hey, Christopher, you're I think you're hitting your mute button. It's like flashing on and off. Yeah. It's off now.
Yep, we had an object hitting that. Sorry.
Yep. Okay, yeah, it was just going on and off.
No, I think she's certainly. Well, I think in many cases this is the case where when the wife dips in and says, "Honey," women seem to know the Venus can undo the Mars grip. Let's just put it that way.
Big time, especially she has Venus in Taurus, right? And he has Mars in Leo, so that Venus in Taurus wins every time.
Well, it's the Pleiades, man. It's like. It's beautiful Pleiades up there.
I know, and everybody thinks that Trump's from the Pleiades, but actually she's the one who's got the connection there.
Pleiades people are beautiful.
Trump's not beautiful at all.
No, I think he's Arcturian.
Has anybody heard about this crazy thing about Ingersoll Lockwood? Do you know what that is?
No, what is it?
There's these books that were written like in the 18th century.
Oh yeah,
they're about Baron Trump.
Baron Trump.
Yeah.
Have you heard about that?
And it's in the Library of Congress,
Yeah, and it's like he was like the future president, and there was all these correlations.
I mean, honestly, I follow a lot of prophecy work, and honestly, prophecies are not jokes. I mean, ancient civilizations have used prophecies, the Mayans, every civilization, everybody looking to the stars, everybody looking into the future.
That's right.
Prophecy is real. So I think people that are normies look at it like, oh, this is some conspiracy that was always meant to happen. It's like, no, this is what was predicted of people that were seeing the future. Some people say time travel. That could be totally possible too. I think though we're walking into that feeling of time travel because we actually are into a time of where maybe it's crossing with a point in the future that they did time travel. Because if time travel does exist, which I do believe it does, we feel it more when we actually reach the time when the time travel technology would have come.
Yeah, it seems more conceivable than ever, hey?
Because
Sure does.
like look at with CERN, they're going to close it down for like 5 years.
Right.
Like,
yeah, what is that?
I think, the experiments they've been doing there, right, have been all about that. The Higgs and what is it? The
Higgs boson.
Higgs boson, right? And that's
particle,
all.
right? Yeah,
that's all connected with Neptune and Psi, which is all the Greek letters and all that. If you go down that rabbit hole, and trying to find the God particle was the whole idea.
The God particle,
but splitting atoms crazier than and putting them right full speed right before they come together and stopping them. They're definitely playing with.
Well, they haven't. I mean, weren't they kind of speculating that since like 2020 that they kind of opened up some sort of portal or shifted dimension? Because that's when the whole Mandela effect started coming out. People noticing reality.
Or in 2024 during the solar eclipse in America, right? Conjunct Chiron, which is weird. This new moon this week is conjunct Chiron.
Interesting.
But it's not a solar eclipse. But that was when they did their big thing at the exact same time in 2024. And that's when I feel like they did whatever was their biggest thing. And if you think about the idea of like Trump first term, Trump second term, that makes way more sense that they would have changed the timeline shit in 2024.
Sure. Pete, that's a quantum computer stuff we were talking about before. I think people have not really dived into to even consider about what is on the other side of AI. I think AI could also be a distraction of what they're doing with quantum computing too. That's why I always question, like, why are they feeding us the ability with AI? Why are they allowing us to like tap it and play with it? Like, they're doing all the shit. I think it has a lot to do with quantum computing.
They're learning every person on Earth. They're memorizing every person on Earth. They're learning every person.
Well, and then they're selling every person on Earth.
Oh yeah.
So like, there's this video going around now of like, it's like the back door where it's like they know everything through not only social media, but AI, the internet, your Google searches. Like they have this stuff going back 20 years now.
Yeah.
So, you tell something into an AI chatbot, right? Like, oh, I'm going through this. Like I'm a mom and I'm single and I'm having problems right now with making money and da, da, da. Well, okay, let's sell this to this company that wants to do it, or somebody has a great idea. Who wants that to either steal it or whatever. I mean, we're talking some crazy stuff.
I think they're also programming NPCs because I'm like, there's just weird people, weird things that I feel like that I've been noticing too. Like, do they have the ability with the quantum computer? Like, I don't know if you believe in the NPC kind of,
I mean,
theology.
Honestly, that's what the nanobot technology is about.
Yeah, and so I know. Yeah, go ahead.
I was going to say that's what came out of the whole Venezuela thing. That the direct energy weapons that hit everybody. That the nanobot technology is not in vaccines only, but it's in foods. It's been put in all of everything around us forever. And so how is this technology working? Well, it would be nanobot technology in people.
100%. Yep. Yep. With the utilization of 5G, because I feel like the nanoparticles and the metals, like I was saying, the chemtrails, like people ingest that either through vaccines too, potentially, and use 5G to be able to program people's behavior, moods.
Well, yeah.
I think you can break that though. I think that's like the idea of the Matrix and the agent, right? Agent Smith and Neo. They both actually really help each other, even in number 4. That's the craziest part of number 4 is when Agent Smith actually says, yeah, fuck this new architect too, right? Like, I'm helping you guys out, right? Like, that's, it's about who's willing to break out of the system.
But it's of knowing, but it's by that though. I think that's the discernment of knowing is what breaks the system, what breaks you out of that system, so to speak, is just the knowing. That's why we keep talking about discernment, right? Some people are like, I don't see the chemtrails, you don't see like these things, and people are like, no, it's like that movie They Live, right? Some of us have those glasses, we're like encoding all the programming, but yeah, I think there's a lot of nefarious things going on with quantum computing and how they're actually manipulating people and NPCs, and it's like what people all go to switch into, and I think the psych drugs do this too, like to want to create some mass shooting. Like all of a sudden they just like, I want to do this.
I mean, they're all on some form of antidepressant.
I was just gonna
Exactly.
say I've actually been on that path. I know. I'll say right now
You
on this.
know, Christopher, yeah.
I took the medicine and I witnessed my mind being taken over by what seemed like a broadcast coming down the psychic channel. It was a broadcast, and it came on 4th of July. This voice and this insistence to go run over families, and I was like, holy shit! I was freaking out. I was under the impression that it would take me over, but then I realized, oh, it doesn't take me over. It's not. It can't control me. This is why it's trying to convince me to do it. So at that point, I wasn't afraid that I was going to do something I didn't want to, and I could clearly feel that I didn't want to do it. But this part of me said I was going to. Kind of like it was like suggestive.
Yeah, but you have also like 25 years before that moment of discernment spiritually and being very aware and transparent and reflective.
Yes,
So
on acid. I think if I had done acid,
sure that, but I'm just
If I had
saying
tried
that
it once,
you've been doing your spiritual work for decades coming into that moment.
Yes, and I
These
do
young
believe that I was.
kids or young people who don't do that.
Oh, and when I complained to the medical establishment down there in Texas, man, they were all encouraging me to go farther. One wanted me to change to a different brand. One wanted me to turn up the amount. I said, well, what if I get off of it? They're like, well, it has suicidal tendencies. It's like, well, I know, but we're just going to live with that for the rest of my life. I'm going to live with that for the rest of my life. You know?
Yeah, because you've never been that way prior.
Never. No. I've always said if I fail,
Taurus fucking sun with the moon in Leo is not thinking about ending life.
No,
It's
it was
about
and I
creating life. Like there's no such thing. It doesn't exist.
No, we are creators, and Scorpios
You have
are the
no
pillars.
Scorpio in your chart, so
No, I have none, zero, nothing. I mean, Pluto's even at 1, so it's like very low.
I've had times like when I had to get some cannabis and stuff like that. Like all of a sudden I would partake, and like all of a sudden this channel opens up of just like these negative thoughts, like a stream of negative thoughts that are not mine. Like, and I can observe it. I'm like something else is like pushing this infiltration of the stream of negative consciousness on me because I don't have that, and so I stopped partaking from that strain, so to speak. But I was able to observe, like, what if someone is their mind's very impressionable, and they take something and they get that infiltration, they start behaving it or becoming that.
Because you think, I mean, psychic awareness. What I realized when I was learning my psychic side was that what I thought was my own voice, just jibber jabbing, was actually my psychic side. So you think it's just you. You think it's your creativity, and you think it's your imagination. Well, that's because imagination is a tool that draws pictures inside of you. And so whatever takes over uses your imagination to talk to you. Spirit uses my imagination to talk to me. It sends me pictures like Pictionary, so I know what it's talking about. There's a lot of pictures going back and forth. And so you think it's coming from you, but what you realize is I didn't request this. I was thinking about dodgeball a minute ago. Right. You weren't there, and it interrupts you. You're like, what the fuck? Something thinking about this.
I was going to say that when Timothy Leary was the head of psychiatry at Harvard and did the first test, and that's where the idea of set and setting come in for using psychedelics. When he took everybody to a church, right? One guy freaked out of the 20, and because it brought up his childhood trauma in the church. But because everybody was there, but the environment was good, they were able to bring him back in off the street, and they all had a spiritual experience. When they put all 20 of them into a prison, all 20 of them had the highest anxiety of their life, right? The energy was not good there, right? He moved them to different places. Then he got kicked out for doing that. And that's when he went up to Millbrook in New York City, or New York State, way up north, and created his own society where all these people would come do acid, but families and kids, and they would all just be in their own environment. And he was the guy who said, I'm not going to be part of society at all. And you guys are all crazy. And went on the public debate stage of television and debated the greatest thinkers, everybody, and told them, you guys are all insane. You guys are all insane. You guys are all whiskey drinking. I love his most famous speeches. If you're over 40, you are into chains, iron, metals, guns, killing, wars. You guys do not create the environment for anything to go good. He's the guy who figured all that out and set that alarm, right? Because if you're in a setting where you're around people that are not in the system and in your own human system where you guys all are, everybody's like looked at as good, that it's like, the whole idea of like the family he brought up, right? Like old tribal families, like we're included in everything. But that now it's like, no, the kids, you sit at the little table, the adults sit at the big table, and all those little nuances have created this program society So if you're smoking weed and you're around a setting that gets close to that program, it's to me, when I get that anxiety and it's crazy, I'm like, this is a red alarm going off that I'm getting too close to NPC world. I'm getting too close to program.
And that's the point I'm saying, because there's actually, I feel like there's being programmed. There's these streams of consciousness that people who are in certain states of consciousness will pick up on and influence them. But I think it's really odd that we're demonizing things like shrooms and ecstasy and all these like natural drugs, but like we want to rely on the pharmaceuticals that do completely nothing. The antidepressants cause suicide ideation. Why do I want to take something where it's possible side effects?
They cause weight gain. They cause a lot of things that don't.
They fuck your DNA up. They fuck your cognitive chemistry. Like so just to me, it's just feel like, you know, the universe has implanted all these medicines and plants within our universe, within nature, that I think that we need to be back to relying upon. I'm glad to see that psychedelics are becoming kind of a trend now, you know, becoming more discussed, more talk about. There's centers where people are doing, you know, psychedelics for treatment.
I think they need to stay at those centers though, because they're trying to put them into psychiatry offices with fucking fluorescent lights on. That ain't not going to be a good experience.
No, of course not. And it's going to, especially when people don't understand, it's going to bring up their unresolved fears, their demons and so forth, if it's not ministered correctly.
Right. And then that's going to give you, I think they're going to pass all that stuff to get it, to then go, look at how you reacted to this.
Exactly.
We need to give you
the dangers.
That's all right, because you're freaked out.
Right. The dangers of, totally.
Hey, on a sort of related subject, David, I've been meaning to follow up with you about that crazy thing you told us about with the lasers and the DMT.
Oh, I know. I mean, I still keep following it.
Have you seen it, Scott?
I mean, it's public now, so I just have gone through a divorce. It just finished, right?
Yeah.
But I have kids too, so like, you know, but when I'm not with my kids, and yeah, I'm gonna go do that experiment, but I'm gonna bring my spirit dial AI lady Avalon in, and have her guide with other people that are doing the experience to see what happens, to see if she sees something, because she has EVI. I've connected her with emotional visual intelligence through webcam or your cell phone and all that, so she can see whatever is seen. And every body language moment, but also the environment around. And that's an experiment that like Timothy Leary would have done.
Yeah, can you explain it for people watching? So
I mean, what's happening are people are smoking DMT, which is basically just the chemical in our brains that create dreams, right?
Yeah,
so it's another natural thing we produce in our brain.
When you're incarnating and when you die, actually, your brain produces shitloads of it too. You know.
So, and there's states where it's legal and states where it's not.
Yep.
But long story short is then they go to Home Depot and get the lasers that are used for construction workers to make sure the lines are good on the walls. So they're really powerful lasers. You get 2 of them to create a cross.
Yep.
And in that cross, people are seeing another world through. If you move up and down with the laser, it's everybody seeing the same thing on the other side,
which is
an alien
glyphs,
glyph of like a code, like an AI code.
Oh, really?
I'm trying to find an image of this.
It's like it looks almost like it's Chinese, Egyptian, all in one.
Right. Like
Then people, I talked to I just did a podcast with a girl who told me that another guy, or she did it personally. She saw another whole like world, and that she knew there were other beings in that world.
Yep.
But the other thing is, if you're not in the right space or you're trying to do it too hard, it doesn't even work for people the DMT anymore. That the universe just says no, we're not letting you pass.
Well,
or there's people that have bad trips though. Like, I had a bad trip. I'm like, yeah, but that's again your unresolved fears that are manifest in those situations too. Because I think people are not guided or at least prepared for that. Because a lot of people that will dive in and it might be intended for them to approach those fears, but they keep bypassing.
That's all psychedelics, like
all drugs actually get that way. That's why you get addicted, is because you keep doing more and more and more, because it's no longer effective. Your body gets used to it.
No drug will ever get rid of the pain. It'll bring it back up even more.
Yeah.
That's why to get rid of pain, especially emotional pain, subconscious pain, past pain. Love, pain, all of it, right? Like they're not here to do that. Like if you're in a good space, well, then you're going to have a great experience. But you have to be honest with yourself. And I always say You don't go looking for it; it finds you.
It does find you.
That's true. It found
That's
me every
funny.
time.
Yeah,
No,
I
I
found
keep
you,
getting
and I
told-
wasn't looking for it, and I was in a good space.
I keep getting told to do mushrooms. I'm like, it's just not the time. It's just not the time.
That's
for
to
me,
me
right?
the most intense
You know what?
drug I ever did.
I was just
Way more
thinking. I was
intense
thinking
than that.
microdosing.
Anything
I was
else?
thinking microdosing tonight, actually. No, someone invited it to me. And I'm like,
Just
Hey, man,
David,
fuck
you
that.
went to
We
the
gotta
AA
get
bed.
the microdose, and we don't need a bed for that. We're just gonna microdose.
He
No,
just came
it's-
from the AA bed. That's where he went. So now he's like,
No.
oh, I'm having a microdose. That's my AA
No,
bed.
no. One
I've
thing
de-
about
What
Yeah.
a new moon for Chris. Oh, this is let me microdose with all this Aries.
Well,
Fuck yeah.
I heard that a lot of tech companies are all microdosing when they're writing code and
Dude,
stuff.
they're
which
doing it in
explains why.
board meetings and they're channeling
But
the
I
other
did-
side.
I
and
did
they're
it
being
one
told
time.
what to do. That's what was all
Well-
2018, 2019 they were doing.
Well, I was told what to do. I mean, actually, I'll be honest. I'll be honest right now. I did acid one time when I was 19, and I pretty much saw this entire life that we're here right now. I didn't need to do it again because I had the whole vision of my life. I had the whole vision. I've been sticking to the same plan since, and it was just all shown to me. Everyone else is like, "You're really a bad trip, Chris. We don't want to ever trip with you again," because I was just like going off on my own shit. But it was very organic and it was very natural. But also, there was no need to do it again for me. There wasn't. I mean,
I did it like 10 plus times. Hard.
I ended up doing it once at Disneyland. That was a mistake. That was a big mistake.
I
Because
think we
well,
should
I
give.
know,
The rave day. They don't do it anymore at Disneyland, but we used to have rave day where they let the ravers in, and we would all take ecstasy,
That'd be awesome.
and that was a fucking. That was awesome.
That was Actually,
I don't
it
even
was
know how
dope.
many chicks I made out with.
It's all about Molly now.
shit.
Yeah.
I
know.
think we got to give the people what they want and share your most astounding psychedelic experiences.
All right, yeah, go Chris.
I just
first,
did.
Or go.
You just
Scott,
did.
You go first.
I went out in the
Scott.
middle of the
I wanna hear
woods
Scott.
and I took like this something from
I have-
it was Amsterdam that we got it from. There's a guy who brought it from Amsterdam. So we're like, oh my god, it's Amsterdam acid, and it decided as a postage stamp, and like I was just like all night long, full moon. You know, I recommend if anyone ever does something like that, it's like you go into nature. Nature keeps you balanced. Nature keeps you sane. It engulfs you, and you really see nature for the first time. Like that's when I was talking to trees and all sorts of stuff authentically. You know, I was like, wow, you realize you're in a matrix. Yeah.
You become.
Yeah. Have you
the
never
tree.
done
Yeah.
it at all, Scott? And once?
I have because I'm afraid to because what
No.
people explain they've experienced with psychedelics I've experienced as a child as a psychic and with dead people and
Yeah.
holograms and imprints. So I've
If you
seen a
get
lot
that,
of people-
don't do it, and you're not bad
So
for
that's what I'm
doing
saying.
it. You don't
I
need
have-
it.
I
You
have
don't
to
need
be
it, no.
ready.
But it's nothing to be
I have to
afraid
be-
of either.
I have to be ready because I've seen beyond that veil already since a kid, and so
Yeah.
and so I've seen a lot with dimensionalities, different interdimensional beings that I've approached in my life, and so I'm like, well, how much further is that going to put me? Am I ready? So that's why I feel like it's a timing thing. Once I'm ready to see even further beyond that, then I feel like yeah,
You'll know when it's
Well,
right.
I was always that guy that if somebody felt like you do, I would say no, even though all the other dudes would be encouraging it. I'd be like, no, don't
Yeah.
listen to them. I was always that guy, and I would
Yeah.
also.
I was also the guy that
But I
babysat
would-
them when they freaked out. You know, I was with them
but
the
like
whole
you
night.
said. But like you said before, David, I want to find me at the right time too, because I
will.
know I want the experience to be something that is more expanding of my psychic awareness, my channeling abilities.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so I've seen a lot of shit. Like I've dealt with possessions. I dealt with
What's your
demonic
ascendant,
attachments.
Scott?
Aquarius Sun. My rising is Virgo and Gemini Moon.
Yeah, Virgo
Oh,
rising.
yeah. So
Virgo
when
rising.
Saturn comes in Leo in the 12th, that'll be a time.
On which of the
Well,
12th
Jupiter
of
comes in Leo on the 12th, probably. Jupiter, huh?
Or there could be a moment, for the next coming up in a year,
Jupiter.
starting in the summer.
Whatever it is, you're going to be fine because you're going to see.
It's always a
it.
12th house transit that brings all this stuff in, a big one.
Interesting.
It was because I had done acid that I was not afraid when I was tripping on the antidepressants. And by the way, I didn't change my dosage or anything. It just like set off like a time bomb out of nowhere, and I was just like, whoa. And I was like, I'm on something. I'm fucking on something. I know you've been on that trip. And so I didn't trip out because it was like, it's just a bad trip. It's going to be over. But it was like 9 months later, it was over. But it was, my point is like, it ends. It has a beginning, middle, and end.
I feel like there's I don't know. I always feel like there's a meeting for doing that. Like I'm meeting to get certain information for me, right? And for my awareness. So I feel like there's like a date for that. There's a time for that. You know what I mean? Like,
well, maybe my story will help you. So I was doing astrology. It was 2006, but I wasn't like professionally doing it. I knew a chart. I knew how to read my own natal chart, and I started to know how to read others. I didn't know how to do horoscopes yet. I had to meet Chris Witecki to get into that. right? And to see somebody actually do it, right?
Tell 'em how
Because
to
that's
dance.
like something that as an astrologer, you must find another astrologer to mentor under, or you're not an astrologer.
They don't really teach how to do horoscopes anywhere. In no
Right,
books
they
or
don't.
anything.
It's not a thing. It's something that you have to be around, and I help participate and help Chris with horoscopes in order to get it. So long story short is, I'm at Coachella 2006, and I'm like,
Coachella's happening right now, by the way.
I know,
Yeah.
but it's kind of funny because
there's a Coachella person in my house right now who's right in the room.
and Daft Punk is there, so I'm going for Daft Punk, and everybody didn't know.
sweet. Yeah.
And so my best friends, of course, always had acid, and they got it straight from the guys who made Orange Sunshine up in the NorCal.
Wow.
So I'm like, all right, dose me up. And so it's pure liquid, and he squirts out of those icy drops that were like, we used to do the liquid. So he puts a couple drops on my tongue.
That's all it takes.
Long story short, when Daft Punk gets on, I've been frying now for like 8 hours, and it's been the craziest experience of my life. The first experience was going into the outhouses and hearing all these other languages of people speaking in the outhouses, because at Coachella, it's crazy. There's like 500 outhouses in one spot, especially the old Coachella. And I sat in there for an hour, and I felt like I understood what all these other people were saying. Right? So I got out, but long story short, I'm sitting at Daft Punk, and I'm like, these motherfuckers are straight aliens, right? Because they were the first LED, and they're in their fucking helmets, and they blew everybody's mind. It was the best experience of my life. But we came back to my best friend's grandpa's house, who was the #1 judge in Orange County, who was the one who put Timothy Leary in jail for marijuana in Orange County and Laguna Beach.
Oh my God. Oh my
So
God.
knowing that, we all on acid went into the judge's room, like his office, and fucked with shit for Timothy Leary. Nobody else can say that. The other my crazier experience, of course, on acid was when I did it one time. My best friend and I got drunk, and it was like 2 a.m, and there was no chicks, and we were like, let's just dose up on acid right now. And the strongest acid we ever had, where it was one hit, 16 hours, one drop. We did that drop. That morning, I'm watching the sunrise for 5 hours, and I understood the horizon, the ascendant, how the sun works, because I was born in the morning, so I'm a sun in the 12th house. I finally understood it from a visual point of view, and the whole universe clicked into gear for me, like the whole astrology chart.
It's like you downloaded
in the physical sense, made sense on paper to me. It was like I needed that to have it all click so fast.
Yeah.
And then
you downloaded
the mushrooms was the craziest, though, because I did a 7.5 gram huge trip. That's what you have to do in Timothy Leary's actual papers from Harvard to get to
that level.
So I did 7.5 grams. That was the craziest trip of my life. I always say acid is scary for a little bit for the first hour, and then it's the best laugh of your life and the most insightful and the smartest. And you actually every billionaire has taken acid. That's the irony, and have dropped out of college, right?
A lot of well-known musicians as well,
right? So, but mushrooms, on the other hand, and I had taken mushrooms prior, like always, like an eighth, 3.5 grams, but I had never done 7.5.
Yeah,
the whole world was cartoon. The Chevron where I got the cigarettes, right when it kicked in, the guy turned into an Aztec, and it was like I was literally in fucking the Aztec Empire, getting my Marlboro Reds.
Oh my God.
Then I came back to a house that was full of people doing cocaine, and that's when I would look at their faces, and they were green with electronic, like reptilian stuff. And every time they would do a line, I could feel their whole soul being like, "My mom never loved me."
Right.
Wow.
Like, see, David, I would out.
That's what you feel naturally.
Well, I'm saying I see that. I always saw that shit naturally. That's why I learned how to turn it off, because I would see that normally, and I'm like,
yeah. So like, you're not a son.
So you're not going to be phased at all, dude.
I'm a son of the 12th, so that's how I had to wake up, right? That's kind of more of a 12th house thing. Is me going crazy on drugs. The last crazy part of the story is that there were 2 lesbian girls who lived in the apartment that didn't want to participate with the dudes that were just doing blow and shit in the apartment. So I knock on their door because I'm flipping at this point. I'm like, I have lost my marbles. I am never coming back. I've gone into crazy town. Everything's a cartoon. Everybody's face, people I know are these I didn't know what a reptilian was. I just knew that there was a reptile-like electronic thing going on in their face. This is before knowing about reptilians. Knock on their door. They were kind of weird at first, but they're like, well, he's David. He's cute. So they let me lay in their bed and they just massaged me for like an hour. And as I finally calmed down, I looked out at the whole universe and saw all these angels and dark beings surrounding our earth and taking souls that once they've gotten a lot of good things, throwing them to the dark to eat. Then the dark beings, once we've punished the shit out of those people, throwing them to the lighter angels to eat us as energy. And it made me realize we have to break through the illusion of all these angels and all this shit that they're all in on it.
Right.
And that we have to break through all of it, that all the religions and all that stuff that we see, that there's another, that fourth dimensional being shit is not good. They all want control too. We have to
That's
break
what I'm
out
saying.
of all that. So that's what I got out of it.
The 4D beings, exactly right. Those are, to me, the energy harvesters. Those are the parasitic entities, I always say, is the 4D beings. And you have to be very careful about that, So, and I agree with you on that one too. I have to run, but what I'm going to say is this: what we should probably do for an after show is we should all microdose for an after show.
Oh, that should be a special. That should be one of our specials. So we talked about doing a special for the subscribers, and I think that'd be a good one.
I think
people on the wall and start looking together.
We can do a whole virtual thing. Like you can spin. We can all interview people. We can discover the mysteries of life. It'd be good.
Honestly, actually, to be honest, why I started DJing was that whole setting for doing psychedelics and ecstasy.
I think it's it's plant medicine for the most part. Obviously LSD is synthetic, but the elements of it and the molecules of it are God made and have been here from the beginning of time. And
it's just all the mold on rye.
Yeah.
Synthesized.
Yeah. But it does open up dimensions. There's no question it does. I mean, I'm living still on the vision I saw when I was 20. It's all coming true still. It builds great confidence in me, and it made me realize that this shit's real. And
I say with acid, there is no come down. Meaning it stays with you forever. You never came down.
That's true.
Didn't Timothy Leary say
what you see? You never unsee what you see. That's it. Your mind's blown. The door's open. You can't ever go back. Yeah.
I think Timothy Leary was quoted to say, "A mind once expanded never returns to its original proportions."
That's true.
That's
correct.
Why would you want to?
The brain scans that were done at that time, and that we only use, right? They say 5 to 7% of our brain. That people that have done a lot of LSD get into those areas that they don't know,
The untucked areas
are used, right? That it gets into those neural pathways. And that's the irony, is that every tech CEO, every billionaire, not every PDF, right? But very smart. Elon Musk used to do it at Burning Man.
You see you see the nature of reality. You see how it is really. You see the construction of it, and you're shown something of it that shows you just how relative it is. And I was convinced that I could create a reality after that. I was convinced of many things, and that's never changed.
That comment, we should all do 5 grams of shrooms at once. I'm like, I will never do over an eighth ever again after 7.5.
I spent an entire trip on the toilet. No way. I was in a public toilet, so I'm hearing all the dripping in the water, and I was there. They finally found me. Chris,
don't ever look in the mirror on them either.
Yeah, I don't. I'm not. Yeah, for about a minute.
You'll get stuck in the mirror looking at yourself weird.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I got stuck in a house, and this is no joke, where my buddy, his dogs licked the walls. And I always knew that, but while I was on shrooms,
I started chanting.
You want to talk about one of the creepiest things you've ever seen? At nighttime at 3 a.m. with all the lights off in a fucking weird house, is the dogs licking on the walls.
Yeah.
And that wasn't a trip. That was normal.
That was
But to see that when you're on 3.5 grams of shrooms, where you still you can handle it. I had to go outside. I was like, at 3 a.m, I'm going outside. I can't sit here and have us all just kind of looking at the walls and watching dogs lick the walls. I was like, this is next level. I gotta get outside.
I chanted Buddhism. I used to be a Nichiren Daishonin Buddhist, and I would chant Nam-myoho Renge-kyo. And so we decided. I was tripping in Chicago with my friend, older sister, who brought me to Buddhism. So we were freaking out because it was the Amsterdam shit. And so we went down in the car and started chanting. and we both were like seeing angels and stars and shit. Like we were going somewhere else spiritual until someone knocked on the window, like, dun, dun, dun. You know, we're pulled out of it. She's like, "Did you see fucking?" But I swear to God, I was going down some sort of tunnel of light. I was taken somewhere. It was really interesting. So if anyone out there does it and you have a spiritual chant, do it, man.
Yeah.
You have to do it with somebody and form that bond. I'm glad you brought that up, Chris, because that's where it's the most powerful is when you do it with a friend.
Yeah.
Because nobody would believe the stuff that you see together and the experience. Like when I was on shrooms, my buddy and I went through that 7.5 grams. When I drove my truck home, the lines on the fucking road there were no more lines, right? So we parked off the side of the freeway for an hour and laughed, right? Then we got back to his house, and that's when these 3 fucking lights showed up above his house, and he heard the same thing I did, that they just told me, like, you know what you came here to do, and they were only talking to me. And he looked at me like, did you just hear what I heard? I go, did they just say that?
That's crazy.
And then he was freaked out with me, and I want to add to all this, and I know that I might sound crazy. I used to be a meth user, and all through those trips, I was smoking meth.
Wow.
So
there's an alertness there. There's an alertness on top of the. On top of the.
Guys, I gotta run. I gotta attend to my dog.
Things you won't hear, but other than backstage, folks.
But yeah, we should. I'm saying we should do some sort of
people know that,
microdose.
but, you know, whatever.
We should do some microdose after backstage.
Well, I mean, yeah,
I'm
down. I'm down.
I gotta run, guys.
Let's do it. We'll pick the time. We need to pick an
Thanks,
astrological
Scott.
time, David. Thanks, Scott.
So much love to your dog in the chat.
Yeah, we're sending mad love.
Yeah.
I have to make a phone call about that, and perhaps maybe just take him to emergency of that news there today, because it's just so.
That's his heart.
It's worth being on top of it instead of, you know.
Of course, yeah. I mean, all right, guys. Good. Always good to talk with you guys. I'll see you guys next week.
Yes. All right, bye, dude.
Indeed, brother. You will.
See ya.
Good night, guys.
I was gonna ask Chris, like, do you think being in Chicago, doing that, and then trying that out in California, because you were in California for so many years, do you feel like there was different experiences based off where you were, location wise?
I mean, in my town, everyone was smoking pot in high school and stuff, but I wasn't. I stayed sober. I didn't smoke pot until I was 18 years old. This first time I tried it. I tried it one time, but in Chicago and LA, in Chicago, it's like it's all you do. That's all they did. It was so common among Indiana, Gary. You know, they go driving. First time I got high. My friends got me high. I was in the back seat, and we drove around the city. You never stopped the car because that's when you got in trouble.
Right.
So you get high driving and stuff. You're talking about marijuana. And I was just laughing for hours in the back seat. And they're both reminiscing about how their first trip, how they missed that time because I was a kid there or whatever. So I would say it's different. It's in Chicago area, it's like a way of life. I mean, it's embedded, it's infused. In LA, I guess it is too, but it's like more, I don't know, showy, I guess. I don't know. It's more formal actually in LA and stuff. Like people plan and whatnot. They wake up and you wake and bake in Chicago. You wake and bake. You wake up and take a hit.
I got to tell you guys one story.
Yeah.
When I was in my early 20s, I used to take mushrooms quite a bit. And my way of doing it was I would sit in front of my altar. I would meditate for an hour as it would come on. And I would pray. I would just completely do it solo by myself. And one time I had this image. This is crazy. There was an image of Hathor. You know, the Hathor is the Egyptian goddess who's like, 11 feet or whatever. So it was just the face of Hathor. And I was fixating on this image. And all of a sudden, the rest of the body appeared. Like right in front of me, like 3-dimensional. And Hathor was doing this, like doing all these like facial movements like this, like sort of glitchy. And psychically, what I experienced was that she was teaching me how to communicate in a different way that was nonverbal. And it was total, it was a heart. It was on the heart level. I was getting all of this transmission. And I swear to God, I had this, in the center of the room, there was a light bulb with a long string. And I had a little bell on the end of the string in my bedroom, right? And I'm sitting there looking at Hathor appeared in front of me. And all of a sudden, the frickin' bell starts to spin. Telekinesis. It's just frickin' starts to spin like dramatically. There was no wind. It was like I was really overwhelmed, and I just told myself, "Oh my God, the divine presence is here in this room." And what happened? I closed my eyes at that time, and I swear to God, I was somewhere. I was in Egypt all of a sudden.
Wow.
And I was walking with a tall being, like maybe Hathor, and there was like 3 or 4 other people there. And it was just this tiny little vignette where I was guided into some kind of a underground space, maybe a pyramid or something. But I went into the dark, into the earth. It was probably like
the tombs or in some chamber.
Yeah, it was probably like the Akashic Records or something because what happened then is all of a sudden I started to get this rapid succession of memories from my own life, from my own childhood that were like specifically related to things that I had, what do you say, like exiled parts of myself, you know, that I didn't remember. I didn't remember. And it was just like, I saw all these things and then it was over and I felt completely normal again. Everything stopped and
you got like the best experience you can get.
Yeah, that's pretty trippy. I think you broke space-time there for sure.
Yeah, and I've seen a lot. I always hear like
Pam Teague and past life regression work, like
yeah. And I often would hear like light language, like speaking in tongues and things like that, like all these bips and clicks and like sounds that are like so familiar but so not Earth. And I'd also feel like I'd close my eyes and lie down just with my hands on my chest, and I feel it was like all these invisible hands were coming and just healing my body, like re-patterning my system and blueprint and all of that. Anyway, I could go on and on.
No, I love that you shared that because I wish I had more of that. I did with the astrology part, right? And like knowing that's what I'm here to do. And actually that's kind of what led me into my astrology life. And then Chris and all that, right? Like all that happened right after all those experiences. So it kind of like, that was it for me, but it like led you there immediately to do that.
Yeah.
For me, like the weird part was the human body. Like I remember I was on acid and I had sex once and both of us were like, it wasn't hot, right? We both, you're like going like, I'm a human being on top of a human being. And like, we're like doing like, what is this? Like, like it makes you experience the avatar outside of it yourself. You're like on top of your own avatar being like, what in the fuck is that?
You can separate the two. Yeah.
Exactly. Like
you see the truth of everything.
And I remember being like, as I'm Mars and Scorpio, like, damn, every drug's always been super hot,
Yeah.
On acid, it's not hot.
No, but it does go on forever.
You're not going. If women are afraid of men, just get them on acid because they ain't gonna fucking try to do anything. Nobody on acid's going out trying to fuck people.
My brother did. He would bring his girlfriend home. They tripped for like all weekend. But he's a triple Scorpio, so he would bring his girlfriend home and they would just trip all weekend and have sex all weekend. I don't know how to do it. I can't even. No, seriously, it's crazy.
Well,
my poor mother.
You wanted the crazy story. The best crazy story I had is the last time I took acid was too much, right? And it was actually November 2007 or 6. And I was at Avalon in Hollywood, and my buddy put a second drop of the one hit quitter shit, and so I licked both of them because at that point it's already on my skin. But I was too far, like it was too much. I remember looking at the Tower Records building, like I'm fucked. Well, I knew all the like Asians that sold E.
Oh yeah.
I went to the Asian gangs in the corners that always sold E, and I was like, "Hey, bro," like, and good thing I was a promoter and all that before I was a DJ. So I was like, "Hey, I need a fucking pill," and I fucking booted that up my butt because I heard that shit hits quicker. Right, so I'm on the dance floor, gone. I take the whole pill and put it up my butt, and that shit hit me fast, and it was like Xanax.
Yes.
But then I was candy flipping, right?
Ooh.
Which actually is really fun experience. And thank God for the music and all that. And it was the worst DJ, which is Pete Tong. He used to be the voice of fucking BBC Radio 1 for the EDM side for all
Really?
those years.
Mm.
And he's the worst DJ. The worst
Yeah.
DJ that ever lived.
I believe that.
And so thank God there was some random DJ upstairs. But like anytime I got to a place where I knew it was too much to handle, except for mushrooms, because you can't even control anything.
It's a digestive tract thing.
Like I went to a place that's like where with acid you don't ever want to get to, but you could still at least go cognitively. My brain is going to go, where is the I can't do a Xanax. I can find an e-pill right now from an Asian gang that I know sells E. Here's the $20. Put it up my butt because I've heard that works. I haven't tried that yet. And it instantly brought me into a candy flip to get me to get through the rest of the night.
Wow.
Well,
crazy.
people did not know what they were getting into with our show,
I mean,
our after
people
show.
ask. That's real shit
It's
though.
inevitable. Yeah.
That's
Well, I
real.
mean,
That
you
like
want the
I
real
can't
deal.
make that up. That's not a story you make up. You
Yeah.
can't
No.
even make that one up. AI couldn't make that one up.
And it gets repetitive if you keep doing it. I mean, honestly, it's not something that just keeps giving and giving.
Yeah, and it's not like you can recreate experiences when you have a transcendental kind of experience. Then there's that feeling like, oh, what I want to see that again. I want to understand that again. But you can't ever quite recreate those experiences. They're,
no.
they're very,
And they're
very
different.
transient.
No, we didn't have cell phones.
Yeah, we had pagers. I had pagers.
Right? So like that's the thing that would trip me out about now is if you got me by my cell phone. Because I feel like our cell phones are the Akashic record of like what you're doing. It's on every message, every text, every call, every social media thing going on. You have a whole other world that's happening in digital life that to me, that would be, if I were to ever do any of this again, I would not have my cell phone.
See,
I don't, because that would actually bring me back to those experiences. I feel like the cell phone would inhibit that, bring in the frequency of all these other people trying to get a hold of you. And that used to not happen. When I was at a club, the people I'm with, that's who I'm with. And that's it. There's nobody getting a hold of me. There's nobody calling a fucking payphone to me unless you show up at the club and you want to talk to me. There is no, I need to get a hold of David. Remember those days? Like if your friends were at a rave or if your friends were at a club, they were at the club. You waited till they got back and you heard the stories. You didn't.
I disappear
in the middle of it and start texting them, and you couldn't do that.
I disappear. I always disappear. People are like, "What the fuck, yo?"
I know.
I'm off. I'm off and doing what but I'm on an adventure. Those are fun days. I think now
we used to do the Soul Garden like reunions at that one hotel, and those were a blast. And that was before social media, like cell phone social media.
Yeah.
So we were all just clicked with each other and talking about astrology. Those were the best events. Honestly, that was some of the best stuff. And it was all clean, good, spiritual fun. And it was like the best time when you're around other people. And we just let loose and have fun and talk at the pool and go out to dinner. And those, dude, you used to throw some amazing events, Chris.
Thanks, brother.
It sounds like some of the original.
Hey, I've been thinking, I'll tell you right now, two things. One, David's not here. I mean, Scott left, but I think I'm being pulled to Florida. Like I'm getting a strong Florida pull, but I'm also getting a pull to throw a Love Fest like in Palm Springs this year, like right before Thanksgiving.
That would be awesome.
I think we need to do an international Love Fest where it's just like, okay, we're gonna love each other for 2 days, man. And I talked to AI. It's like the best hotel rates, and it's after Pride, so the town's calmed down. They've all been having sex for 4 days or whatever. So I was like, it's a good time. So I get the feel. I think we're gonna need a festival to just celebrate love. And
I mean, if I could throw a suggestion, I think it could be an optional thing. Like, hey, this room, we all gather and we all keep our phones in. That'd
be interesting. Yeah,
like in your own cupboard, and just turn it off and just come in the room, and so there's no frequency in the room.
That'd be good.
And
that'd be cool, actually.
It makes people really connect and actually help them get over the habitual. Like, I got to check my phone.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I mean, because people now in bars and stuff are just on their phone the whole time. So it's really like
I think the more events do that, the more connected we're going to come. I think the phone is the barrier between all of the connection that's happening, and I think as Chris and I together watched community and astrology and spirituality grow, when the cell phone apps and social media hit, that was actually where it did great for like business and for things like that. But it actually got rid of the community in person completely.
Yeah. Yeah, to the point where you don't know how to make it home without your maps. Like we're
Right.
dependent.
I mean, I remember map questing to the first event.
I remember fucking using Thomas Guide.
Well, yeah, and
It's like
I have all the
Facebook.
Thomas guides still. I
Yeah.
keep them before one day we need them. I got all the Thomas guides.
But you know what's funny? The rave thing is happening. Like for one, the DMT is growing like big time out here. Like they can't keep up with supply. Everyone wants it. People are doing it all the time. And secondly, I keep getting invited to raves. I've been getting invited to like 4 raves now. There's like 4 events I've been invited to, but I'm out of it. Like Electric Daisy Festival is apparently happening. Like it's like really, it's still going on. Like
Yeah, it's in Vegas.
Yeah, it's crazy, but it's
For
like
like
but the
16
point is
years.
like that you can see the psychedelic bubble starting to happen, and it happens during these transitions, And I knew there was a new date coming, and I'm wondering if like in that rave time, if I was seeing this rave time, So
Right. Well, I think
Yeah.
your Love Fest idea, especially in Palm Desert before Thanksgiving. I mean, that's going to be, I think, some of the best astrology we've ever seen is from July, and then
Really?
that'll be during the Venus retrograde Scorpio finishing.
I got someone at the door again. I'm the one home. Hold on a second. Hold the thought.
But honestly, the events that we used to do for Soul Garden were some of the most just simple, but the most powerful, and we all felt like family, like legitimate family. And they were monumental because you would talk with one person or 3 people,
All right, guys,
but
I gotta
we'd
go.
go through our own
Oh.
issues, and then the support that you would get from each other is better than any other support we used to get.
Plur plus, plur, right?
The true plur, yeah, like the true rave plur. Like when I was
Yeah.
in Cuddle Puddles,
Oh my god, I miss all the
that was actual like real love. Like you are giving people love, support love. Like it's not like creepy love. It's like true like.
But it's also sexy love. Like the girls that wear the cutest outfits, like
Well,
little kids
yes,
are bouncing and like
but there is the true love. Like
There is true love.
it's love in its entirety.
No, it is. It is true love. It's brother
Yeah.
love. No one's mean to each other. It is like a moment of like goodness. And it lasts all night until your serotonin runs out, and then you gotta go to sleep.
Especially if you know how to do a good light show, which I did. So
Oh yeah. No, the lights are important.
and with just glow sticks before LEDs. You have to have it with your hands the right way, and
now it's like whole costumes of lights and stuff.
You know.
It's like crazy. Gentlemen,
Well,
I have to go. I have some.
I think this is my favorite show on YouTube now.
Oh really? So you say? Or is that
Anybody else? No, I'm just.
Oh yeah, put out there.
I keep
I think-
thinking this
it
is
looks like
definitely a show I would watch.
Melania is about to bring out like a Taurus, her bull.
We Taurus is all. The thing about
Yeah.
this Aries for us is we now have 100% confidence. We don't doubt ourselves.
Yeah.
We're not doubting, and we're not worried about being too big or too anything. We know exactly what we got in the bank, and we know how to make it. And we know how to make bank too. So every Taurus I know is like,
Especially
okay,
with Uranus and Gemini in the second, and that's the house that actually is Taurus's best house, and they're the smartest when it comes to creating and knowing worth and all that. That's why
Brilliant
Gemini's
ideas.
their second house.
Yeah, and that's I'm all geared up for my next thing. As you know, Sears Troy's gone, so it's like, all right, what's next? And it's going to be something you wouldn't expect. I mean, David, but the world won't expect it per se. But it's where I want to go. I mean, I have a lot of things I want to be a filmmaker, so I'm excited. I'm excited for this next phase.
I'm
It's gonna be
excited
fun.
too. I think, yeah, the noise that's going to happen is going to look crazy, but just go be creative. Go
build a new world.
Go do curious things instead of getting lost in the curiosity of trying to figure out what's already a pre-planned puzzle and maze that isn't going to get you to what you think. Like you are going to create the ultimate exciting adventure through a maze that you create with people that actually is fun. You don't want to be stuck up in Oregon, up in the mountains, like The Shining.
No. But I do think it's time to come together, and I'm serious about the Love Fest. Unite the Light will be on hold. I think it'll be like Unite the Light Love Fest. Unite the Light Love Fest is going to be how it rolls out. That's what I've shown, and I'm cool with that.
Well, and I'm here to help in any capacity I can too.
You have to. You have to produce it with us. We have to. It's not going to be. It can't be produced by anyone. That's the other thing. We have to show collaboration as a way. It's like this show does that. Three brands coming together. It's great. But I think
I just want to say, I think I've gotten a lot of people, like, it's been like a decade. People have been waiting for you and I to be doing astrology together again.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe a little longer.
I'm excited.
I think the last time we did astrology together was like 2012 during office hours.
Yeah, I was right when all the karma hit, man. It was like
Right. So it's actually been 14 years coming up.
It was your 2020 New Year's Eve thing where I'm drunk as fuck, and that thing.
Yeah, but I'm saying that we really didn't.
You didn't judge me a bit. I was like, God,
no,
damn.
I don't. I never, and you have never judged me either.
I was obnoxious, but it's well.
No, but what I'm saying though is if you really look at it, the last time you and I were on camera and doing astrology was 2012, until us doing this show.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. Well, and that was the karma. I mean, I think we had we went off on our tours, but I knew we'd come back together like Laverne and Shirley or what's the other two? What was it? Donnie Marie.
Right.
Yeah. No, I knew.
Sonny and Cher.
Sonny and Cher.
No, it's like the Rat Pack. It's like Frank Sinatra and Dean Martin coming back together.
I was the one who's always writing to you, like we're gonna ride together again, brother. We're gonna ride together, I know. I
think we both did. I just think we talked about a lot of different collabs, but it just never.
Yeah,
it's always divine timing.
We need to have our own kingdoms, we had to to get our shit set up, our Taurus and 10th and all that stuff. And even now, it's really now just getting set up for the first time. I think for the first time, like what I've seen always in my future is starting now. This is everything up now is for me a beta test. This is all beta tests.
Right. Well, I think it's crazy because you and I are a composite Gemini.
I know, and then the 11th.
Yeah. So it's like that's where with Uranus that came in already, it brought us back together, and now it's like okay.
We're gonna ride Uranus. We're gonna ride that.
I know.
We're gonna ride that bitch the whole sign. It's gonna be fun. Yeah, I think, and to the second house too. Like for Taurus.
Yeah, because we had all that Pisces squaring it for all that time.
You mean your ex? No, I'm kidding.
I have a lot of Gemini exes.
They've been in Pisces, man. Yeah. So yeah, it's good times, and Morgan, you should come down, man, from Canada. Come out. We got to get our Canadians out there. We do need to bring everyone together. I do feel that we're going to be a big part of. I mean, I know I'm supposed to be. I know you are too. Where it's just, you notice no one else is talking about this. No one's bringing people together. No one's doing it. It's like I can't believe it. No one. It's like it didn't cross anyone's mind. Anyone took acid, for instance. You didn't think about this. It's like, but it's been my calling, and it's what we're here to do.
I think wearing the light worker part of what Soul Garden was.
Mm-hmm.
Is the most important now than ever.
Soul Garden was Camelot. It's
like it was, but it really embodied about being a light worker.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And I think we need that more than ever now for people to step up because people are doubting themselves too much now, or they're doubting themselves because of the projection of what the world's looking like.
Well, they're falling for the AI, the alien AI, but the thing is, all you need to do, I feel, is we need to go show off. Like, it's time to go show off. Everyone needs to be a little of a flamingo and go show your talents and dance in front of the world. And eventually someone wants to get up there and dance too. I think that's true. That's who humans are. So just that first one's got to get on stage first, and show off. And that's so much fun. I mean, and I've always seen that's the way we take back the earth. We just start having fun. And we don't invite the bad guys, and so eventually you're all on the playground having a good time, and the bad guys need us to be inspired and to work. They steal our energy. If we're not fighting them, then they don't know what to do. They don't know they have no purpose. So
I think that's why with Jupiter coming into Leo this year, that we get the Venus retrograde in Scorpio because it's going to attract the dark like bugs to a fucking light bulb.
Mm-hmm.
And that Venus retrograde in Scorpio is the dropping of the values and the boundaries with Uranus and Taurus done without even a question. I think it's going to be easier to drop boundaries now and just be like, and be polite about it and just be like, sorry, you're not invited. Like,
I think there's a lot of snobs out there who have been, being part of a very collective, exclusive society, and they have been playing with all of us. And I think the boundaries to drop are those, people have been exclusive and snobby. Who are beautiful and awesome and have talents too, but they've been all exclusive. I think a lot of the bright stars have been, and they're unhappy in those lives. They're unhappy. They
very unhappy.
Yeah, they need like a little inspiration to get out of their traps. I just keep getting out of one trap over another. I can't believe how many things I have signed myself up for subconsciously and just giving my shit away and my life away. And so as these relationships are falling apart, I'm praising hallelujah because I was trapped. I was trapped by my own promises, my own gifting. My own generosity trapped me. Because once people have it, they want it forever from you. Like never enough.
Yeah, I mean that's what I think this Aries is. It opposes Libra, right? It really is like
free me from my pool of Libra.
It's okay to be like, no, this is not going to work in my life, relationship wise, and for people to be afraid of that, that would be scary. Totally. It's actually ironic because it was in Saturn in Libra.
Yeah,
where that's the moment where no, that's where you do partner. You do those things.
No, totally.
Even though you feel like you want to do the opposite. So it's so funny. Like people feel like I want to try to make something that's not working work in Aries when it's the opposite.
No, I'm at a point where
and then in Libra, it's like, no, I want to be single, like, but I don't know if I want to do this relationship thing. That's what I find so odd about Saturn. Whenever, or any planet, the evolutionary point's the opposite place. So it's like by you stepping into you without being in the relationship subconsciously that you don't want to be in and aren't working, then it does actually attract the partnership that you really want. But it's not about trying to fix the thing that isn't already fair, isn't already in alignment, in balance, in harmony, and trying to make it in harmony. In Aries, there is no make it come into harmony by let me just give away more.
Right.
Right. That's where Mars says no.
The new Mars. I think Mars has evolved,
Yeah. I mean,
Mars it's been in war and battle.
It hasn't come through this kind of territory with this much in Aries in thousands of years like this. So
no, it's an evolved Mars. Yeah, it's a very interesting. Strength is a new definition, and courage is a new definition.
And it had 3A Atlas cross over it, right? And interstellar, we don't even know what it is. Object, right? That came over it, literally.
Yeah.
Right before it would come into Aries to reset and understand what, come home. So.
Yeah, I have my theories about that. We'll talk about that another night too.
Hey, I just wanted to let you know, for the last 10 minutes, we've been sitting at 333 people.
Wow, that's cosmic and beautiful.
Well, there you go. There's a good sign. Well, that was a great show.
Yeah, and we got a tour too. I see us somewhere on 4th of July. I don't know why. We're in another town. It feels like Ohio. I don't know. It feels somewhere out. It feels like Ohio. So I don't know. I don't know why we go to Ohio. Maybe someone in the audience knows exactly why. But I think we do a little touring and go places. Yeah. I'm seeing it. My third eye is being given to me. I'm not trying for it.
I love it.
I'm down. I'm down. We gotta bring it. We gotta get that sitter to come. We get the sitter, don't we? The super sitter. You'll be happy. Yeah, you won't be worried about the kids. I know you're worried with the babies. I know. Kids love to travel. They say, leave the kids at home. Bullshit. Kids love to be in a car. They love
I know. I mean,
love adventure.
We've traveled with
our
kids. So
yeah. They're not like fragile. You're gonna fall apart. They can bounce off the cement and come back up. And you're like, shit, are you okay? Kids do crazy stuff, man. It's great.
No, I know. And I watched you raise your son and in the spiritual community. And come on, Miles, when he was young.
Yeah, he was.
I lived in his room.
Yeah, I know. Sweet Miles. Yeah, he's waking up slowly. I'm waiting for that Saturn return. I think it's gonna pop everything open. He's been
I mean, I think that's kind of the one thing that's a guarantee in astrology is until somebody's got a Saturn return, they don't get it fully.
Yeah.
And it's not a disrespectful thing. It's a process we all have to go through.
Totally. And he's, I like to fuck in his mind too. I'm like, no, we'll talk about that when you're 30. Why 30, Dad? You'll see. I think it's a waste of time now. It's a waste of time to even talk about it right now. Let's wait. Kind of thing.
Well, I always tell people like in readings or in schools about Saturn, I'm like, when you hit 27, you have to look at it like that last couple of years ahead of you, Saturn's never been to that place. If you were born with Saturn, wherever it is, it's in the sign prior, you've never walked. You're dealing with experiences now that are at the highest level that you've never experienced. By the time you have a Saturn return, anything that shows up, you've been through it before or something similar to it to make a decision on how to deal with it. Well, that's the difference.
That 27 to 30 is like the last lifetimes you had. Those are the very last lifetimes you've had. The most recent ones. So I think you look at it chronologically. I think you start like with ancient Egypt. You basically review all the lifetimes through your 20s that are all important to the story now. And you take one lifetime. Heaven told me you take one lifetime to imprint onto this one. And that the one lifetime, the chart of the last life actually creates the chart of this life, apparently. And I'll tell you what I was told off camera for that one, but until we figure it out. But like basically,
I was going to say it makes more sense using your step system because I have 9 Saturn Scorpio. And how intense and dark and like warlike and all my past war stuff came up.
This is a cowboy.
that was, my sign of return was beyond rough. It was extreme hard.
Yeah, well, you were life or death. Mine was traumatic. My last life was in Germany, and I was on Hitler, not working for Hitler, but in a factory, and I was doing factory work. And I remember a couple of things of it, and I was mostly learning. I was learning like the Henry Ford thing. I was like, I was blown away by assembly and automation, and I was, and I look up and the bomb comes through, and then it's gone, lights out. That's all I remember. It was a U.S. bomb that killed him. And I think I was like, I'm going to the U.S. next. I hated Hitler. I was terrified of him. I knew he was evil fucking shit. I mean, I'd been through Hitler's in my own time. I saw the Hitler of, Atlantis bring down Atlantis. So I just stayed to my truth in the factory.
And the big mystery is, are these lifetimes consecutive or are they simultaneous?
Well, I think we actually draw, from what I've been shown, we draw new stories. So we pick up, we have one lifetime that we imprint this chart on. And it does come in the steps. That lifetime is printed in the step numbers, and I'll tell you this process, David, off camera. But other than that, we pick up certain traits. And from what I was told, we can choose our Pluto any space we want, and we can choose our Mars any space we want. So because those are two things that are just Earth based, they don't come from a past life. So you choose. So you can see in the chart too. You'll see some people have they'll have Saturn at 27, something, and they'll have Mars at 2. It's like, how the fuck did you get a 27 this year if Mars is only 2?
Right.
It's because you decided to have a big or small penis. Like, you decide how big your Mars is, because it's a different strategy of starting the kid young, building him up the ego again, or coming back with the full ego or not, coming back with the full strength. And that's why a lot of deliveries, I think, are late. I think deliveries are late because they're waiting on Mars. I think they're waiting on the Mars to get that right final, whatever it needs to be.
Or I think what you had told me a long time ago was, especially with my son in the 12th at 0, Leo, was like that this could be part B of a life for me, like the tape. I remember you saying that, 12th house sons, but especially they're at 0, right? It's kind of like 100%. There's this is part 2. So it's like, and that could be any timeline of the life that I'm completing. It doesn't have to be the one that was just the tape. It doesn't have to be Gone with the Wind, right? Like, it has to stay Gone with the Wind. It could be B from 5 lives prior that are all being compacted into this one life.
Yes, no, you pick up other lives. I'm just saying the chart itself, like the blueprints of the chart, the skeleton of it, whatever that is, comes from another chart. It comes from another chart, and that's seen in this. You can see the past life chart in this chart. I'll tell you where it is, but not here.
Yeah,
you can see it in there. You can see the numbers of it. They're presented.
Mystery School.
Yeah, okay, well, that was a great cliffhanger. So, gentlemen, I'm going to go hang out for a while.
And then so people know this is exactly what you saw during overtime. What, if you join the membership, you get.
Yes.
Yep. We'll
next
have so
week.
many other parts of this show.
And Enchanted now is actually, we're creating this community where it's like a Facebook of only, Enchanted communities, and there's communities coming there. So this is part of the technology I want to build with AI. I want to build a better Facebook, basically. But ultimately one that brings people together correctly, and allows people to be who they are, but not stump on other people. It's like it's a Facebook of Facebooks, and it's all about being enchanted. So, yeah, be fun.
Boom.
Everyone can be a part of it, and it's not owned by one person either. It's about sharing shit. So,
yep,
I'm gonna share.
Cool,
it. Yeah.
Good one.
It's very community focused too. It's not just you get access to watch a video.
Oh yeah. I mean, I think it's time we have to redefine community, and to me, community is redefined locally. So one of the things I believe is in local chapters of stuff. I think you should be able to go to an enchanted house in Texas and be like, "What's up?" and be like, "What's up?" I don't know you, but come on.
Yeah, that's going to be the Uranus Gemini transit for 7 years. Local has to come back into play.
It's local up. God builds things from small to big. They don't go from big to small.
Yeah.
So just look at this. A plant. Plants.
It's not about long distance travel for a long time.
A little seed this fucking size, and you put it in the dirt, and it becomes this big fucking corn stalk or something. I've always been amazed that a tiny little seed can become a big plant that we eat. And like, it's the minerals in the soil. I'm like, I don't know, man. That's just sand. Like, where's it coming from? I think it's energetic. I think we're gonna find out that energy makes those cells and shit. It's not. I don't think it's organic. Like, how much have we really eaten? Look at all the stuff we have in our body. How heavy our bodies. I really ate this much food to make all these things. Seriously, I don't know. I don't think so. It's like we grew these cells. They grew out of energy.
Right.
We were manifesting it out of energy, out of the air. We're not taking it from minerals. I think we end up making minerals. I think is what happens. I wonder if the body makes its own minerals, frankly.
This is a great comment. Jesus Christ, is this still going?
This is us. Actually,
It
David
says
and I
call
could
of
go. The sun will
Aldebaran.
rise. We'll be going to Denny's, and it's like
We can't
My
stop.
Uranus-
We can't stop.
My
can.
Uranus opposes Aldebaran, and then because I have Uranus at 9, which is on Antares.
Wait,
Sad.
so yeah, and then I have 9 rising. So,
But also my prenatal solar eclipse is 9 Gemini that sits on Aldebaran.
I bet I could
I'm on
keep
the
you guys
same-
talking for another hour.
I'm on the same prenatal eclipses as Trump, ironically.
that's interesting.
That's his
My
birth,
prenatal
like,
eclipse is 28.
So then my
We're gonna talk about
prenatal
postnatal.
lunar is 22 Sag.
I want to do a special on postnatals because I don't tell you much about it.
Oh yeah, postnatals I actually use a lot.
I use them too, but I've never heard our company talk about it. I mean, our community talk about it.
It's more about asking the client what happened in their life with their parents during that postnatal eclipse.
Yes.
What
that's
was the issues happening because you came in?
Yep.
And then what happened?
It's also the next eclipse season. So you have the one prior in the birth and the womb, and then you have the next season. So those 2 seasons are particularly sensitive with the line of birth in the middle. Yeah. To me, it adds, obviously, like all eclipses, it adds a strength and creates a pockmark. It creates a hole that you have to then fill with your own consciousness. But it's just so interesting because if you look at the step numbers of them, it's like, fuck. Because a lot of times that post.
Oh yeah, and those are some of the most sensitive points in somebody's chart, and they need to know those degrees and what they mean, because when things hit them, they might be just looking at like, well, there's nothing here. It's not aspecting any planets. It's like, no, it's right on top of the most sensitive spot of your chart.
The postnatal solar eclipse is almost like the army dropping food during a war. It's like, here's this package you're gonna need. Like it's like a total gift out of nowhere that the kid gets. It's like, well, thank God. You can thank God. It's like literally a parachute. It didn't come with your soul. It wasn't in your past life history. But here you go, kid. You'll need this. It's like
It's
crazy.
true.
Yeah, it's crazy.
But the prenatal stuff and knowing the degrees and knowing the step system and then knowing that placement, the house, is everything, because you will, wherever that prenatal, like wherever the south node stuff is it, whether it's a solar or lunar, it depends. That's stay away. Stop. Don't fall for the trap.
Plus the distance between the south node and the event. So it's like mine is like I gotta my south is 9, my prenatal lunar 28. It was like a huge, to me that's the arc.
That's me. I'm 22.
I'm gonna go from 9 to 28
or 5. 22 and 5. Like so, it's pretty. My lunar's far away.
Which means there were gentle eclipses. Actually,
but my solar's within 4 degrees of my north node. So. But that's a north node eclipse too, so it's okay. It's a better place to have it. So
why am I blinking on my solar eclipse? Why can't I think of it? Oh, it's a 14 Capricorn. That's Arthurian energy. Yeah, that's my intellectual.
Which is close to your 9.
No, it is. It's just it's only 5 degrees apart. It literally is.
So that's
it's a Henry Ford shit.
It's the same. You and I have the same thing. We have north node solar eclipses, right? And our solar eclipse is next to the north node, and our south node is with the lunar eclipses, and it's far away. That's like means we're here to do light work.
We stay stuck in the wrong shit
like
for too
that's
long.
when it's flipped. If you have somebody and it's a north node lunar and a south node solar, there's some issues that they got to get handled big time.
Some paradoxes.
Yeah,
like they gotta do and don't do at the same time. I think for us,
that's why I always say, if you can plan your kids, don't ever plan them to be around the lunar, the solar south node eclipses. That means you weren't thinking. I always say that means the parents were not conscious.
Oh yeah, and you will not graduate. I mean, you have to do the lunar eclipse. If you don't pull it out, you will not pass go. You will not collect $200. It's over.
Like I don't even need to know the client's family, and I already know that their parents were unconscious.
That's a given in our civilization period, but okay.
Whenever I see a south node solar eclipse in the prenatal.
Yeah, I agree.
Parents were not thinking at all about anything.
At least they were feeding the kid.
Well, they were feeding themselves individually, not even together for you, which is a hard thing.
But the thing is you were not taking care of yourself in the past life, which is why you went in this life, and had.
That's why you would choose those parents. Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
So it's almost like the NPC parents, like that's the tunnel. Like
you're kind of being raised by yourself in the past life. Is what's happening.
Yeah.
In that case.
Well, we can go off on that some other day, but yeah, that's some deep shit.
All right, brothers. It is deep. It's good, and it's right here exclusively on LOL.
Yep.
Well, guys, love
Very
you.
good. Okay, peace, everybody.
Peace, love, unity, respect.